Yo, 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 yo. Everything working. I hope everything working fine and nice and dandy line. All right. I'm finna get in this business. Whee! That motherfucker killing. That motherfucker killing. Who finna get their ass beat? Who finna get their ass beat? I'm for them little shirt today. We going little shirt today. Where my glasses at? These are shades. I wanna go. Think y'all ready? Team? Pick a team. No, y'all know what team I like, man. Stop playing. Free pass. Man, nigga, what's going on around the beat? Why in? We on good bullshit today. We on great bullshit today. Green man. Your ass the green man. I'm from green man. Your ass the green man. Alright. Let's see who let's see who online first before I start. Hmm. 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 Nobody's online. You see he ducking shit. Y'all be seeing motherfuckers be ducking shit. He got a ducker. I'm finna post this. I gotta let him know he ducking. Cause I don't think he know. I don't think he know who he ducking. You get what I'm saying? Like, certain shit be like that. So I gotta send this to him. Let him duck. You get me? What he say? You draw? You get me? I don't think you get me. Hold on. I sent him a message. They ain't got all our invoices. Cause on hold on, I got folks that's in my favor, and he don't even respond on my mama. Chalk ass don't even respond. Shorty, Shorty get texts at 7 a.m. talking about nigga, UBD. Imagine a motherfucker text you at 7 o'clock in the morning talking about UGD. Bitch, if you don't get out my fucking face, it's 7 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. You gang bang. Then go to work. Fuck you talking about, nigga, you about 30. And go your ass to work. Ain't no jobs available. Fuck going on? Ain't no jobs available or shit. Fuck me rolling with this damn world. Huh? I don't be understand. I'm doing this about the way. This is pissing me off. Man, I'm steady having to duck around the goddamn TV. Yeah, we supposed to do this ice. We go fast anyway. Let me stop. I can't get that book. So, is you ready? Is you ready for what Freeland has in store? I don't think you ready. I don't think you ready. Get the big light. We don't need the big light, chat. We don't need the big light, chat. Chat. Hey, we don't need the big light. Damn, motherfucker scared. Kick that bitch up out of bounds and shit early. They scuttle you, champ. If you saying something up in the chat, you low key gotta go to Twitch or you gotta go to YouTube. Go to Twitch, YouTube for me to see the chat. Go to Twitch or YouTube to see the chat. Good defense. I wanna hit the wood again. This got a little small on me. Then I'll let it go out. Could run. I could have ran, but take them 3 yards. Free yardage. Free yardage. Uh-huh. I got my doctor glasses on. Let you. Oh yeah, he's sweet. Uh-huh. We'll take that. We gotta do too much. Take what he give me, and he's giving me yards. We'll take what he gives me. If he's giving me yards, we're gonna take them yards. We're not gonna do too much. We got the ball first, so we just gotta put points on the board and put the pressure on him. You know? Because I don't believe it. Then they let him throw a fucking pick. It's fucking Duffy though. The run back was insane. Should have threw the post. Why did I throw a go route? Should have threw a post. Fucking post. Why did I throw the go route? Thirsty. Then he had a step on him, so I could have. Oh my lord. Horrible. Horrible. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow. I got the follow, Daniel. I got the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, bro. What that make us 8 more away, 8 more away on phone number, 8 more away, 8 more away. Okay, okay. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow. The markets on phone number needed that. Appreciate the follow. Appreciate the follow. I'm sick. They ain't popping up and giving y'all no notifications for that on the chat. That's a dime. Y'all like that touch pad? That's a dime. I owe myself a touchdown. Like right away for real, for real. And he want to stay in cover 4. I got some for cover 4s. I got some for cover 4s. It depends what his safety doing. Oh shit! I didn't try to throw that. My bad. That's on me. I'm not sure. I bet you better not do that again. Bet you better not do that again. We going Baja this time, chat. Baja on me, Baja on 3. A might be open. X. I don't know why I knew I liked the A. A right away. You know what? Run it again. Make them scared. Run it again. Make them scared. Huh, huh. Come on, mustard. Fucking mustard. Come on, mustard. It's muskrat. Muskrat or some shit like that. But come on, mustard. Mustard. Don't call his ass mustard, nigga. Get your bitch ass in the game. And break a tackle, nigga. That's what I hated about his ass. That's why I got my dog. We ready now. We ready now. Oh, let's go real quick. We can do this one. We already ran that one. We're gonna go. We're gonna go this one. We're gonna go the other way. Do the play action run. Get this shit going. Get this shit on the way. I should. I should go for 2 this whole game for real, since I fucked up and gave him a touchdown. Fucking run back. I don't know why this play looks so good. B or Y? Oh, I missed Y. Miss X. Run in, kid. Run in. That's what this nigga don't do in real life. He would have sat right there. He would have sat right there. Waited. Do that, Mr. X. Pick. He don't do that in real life. We gotta use his feet. He got to use his feet, man. He got to use his feet, man. We gotta lock in though, cause we got the ball first, so we gotta get a stop. You know what? We're gonna kick it regular because we kicking it off. We're gonna kick it off. Yeah, we're gonna kick it off crazy. We ain't giving his ass the ball. He just read a motherfucker. He's not catching that. He overthrew the fuck out of that ball. I knew he was coming for him. I didn't know when he was. I thought it was gonna be something else across the middle. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a drag. Fucker. He didn't run a drag. He ran a Texas. We're gonna leave him right there then. Throw that like that. I'll go. Oh shit. He got nice little stick work. Fucking ball up out of there, kid. Fuck is wrong with you? Be that. Come on, man. You got too much fucking time back there, chat. Too much time back there, chat. Hello? 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 Issue the text from some. I don't give a fuck. Let's go! Defense! Lock in! That's what I'm talking about. Fucking defense. Oh, he's sitting in the house, ain't he? I had to get the ball out of my hand. He's sitting in the house. We gonna try it again. I got some fours at. We do a corner route on this bitch ass. I can't do no far routes. Quick, quick. Gotta get it out quick. Them niggas coming. I got his ass, bro. Fuck is wrong with him? Threw it fucking right to him. Fuck. Let's go. Oh my god, shorty. No, he didn't. No, the fuck he didn't. Damn, man. Fuck him on Cooper for. Damn. Damn, we got one more chance. Get his ass up out the way. Try this shit one more time. One more again. They got one more time. They got one more time. One more time. They got one more time. You trying to blitz me again? I got one more time. A bullshit. I'm calling a bullshit. A bullshit. Let's go. A bullshit. What? Oh my god. What the fuck is Madden doing? How is it his ball? On a 20. Bro, Madden just cheated the fuck out of me, bro. Madden just cheated the fuck out of me, bro. Madden just cheated the fuck out of me, bro. Oh my God. Thank you. Appreciate that defense. What's your defense? That's because they cheated me. I supposed to got the ball. That supposed to been a safety. That supposed to been a safety and my ball. I don't understand. They playing. They playing with me. We supposed to be up 2 points right now. They capping. They capping. I got his ass. Don't even want to play back there no more. We'll give him that. We'll take that. We'll take that. We will take that. I'll take that. He just bust that bitch. They just cheated the fuck out of me though. The last time they cheated the fuck out of me though. That happens to the best of us though, you know. I ain't studying his ass. For real, for real. Y'all want to be technical. I might not give his ass back the ball. Probably gotta hold this one off and just, you know, take this one to where it is. I'll go. I'll probably score quick, depending on how fast I score. If I score before the third, then I'll give him back the ball. If I don't, then we ain't even gonna do too much. Mm, that was supposed to be a Baja ball. Mm, I ain't liking this. He trying to send that blitz again. Send that blitz. That was great D by Bucko right there. It was great D by Bucko right there. We gotta lock in though. We gotta score some points. And when we score, we gotta go for two. Right here, let's go. I don't not like this play I just played. Fuck. You didn't throw the ball, bitch. Good ball! Woo! All right, chat. We in that no turnaround zone. Yeah. We in that no turnaround zone. A, X, Y, or B. I just hit his ass with a mean juke. I can't give you back the ball, Bucko. You too nice. Be lying. I be lying. Be lying if I can give you back this ball, Bucko. I cannot. I gotta call timeout or something, but shit tight on. Fuck. She told him. All right, chat. I'm back. Perfect time. Half drive my shit. Trying to move fast. All right, let's go. We need this though. I like a run left though. I like a run left. I like a run left. Start the clock. You ain't changing it though. I ain't letting you run no play though. That was beat. Hell yeah, that's a big one right here. Your ass can't get the ball with no time. I'm gonna fuck how you feel about your timeouts. You can't get the ball with no time. I really like her. Huh, it is. You gotta show me. You gotta show me he can stop this. You gotta show me. Hey, why? We ain't doing with you, nigga. Fuck this nigga think we doing with him, chat. Doing with you, nigga. He dropped it. Bitch ass nigga. Show him the same play twice. Run something different. Go back up to the line of scrimmage. Change the play to that. But we'll take that offsides. Let's see if we can get that. I fucking hate this. You's a bitch. He got a post over there. That nigga got a post. He breathing hard. He breathing too hard. He don't know what I got. He don't know what I got in store. He don't know what I got in store. You think we done? You think we done, chat? Chat. You think we done? You think we done? You think we done? You think we done? We done? You think we done, chat? You think we done? Give him back the ball. I want to give him back the ball. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Hey, if we lose, win, draw, I'm running the ball. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm running the ball. Win, lose, or draw, I'm running the ball. Win, lose, or draw, run the ball. Win, lose, or draw, run the ball. And I did that. Break the stick down there. Win, lose, or draw, and I do that. I told myself, win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna run the ball. And I threw the ball, chat. Win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna run the ball. And I threw the ball. Win, lose, or fucking draw. I should have ran a ball. That shit just pissed me off. Win, lose, and draw, run the ball. Told myself that, bro. Win, lose, draw, run the ball. Broke the stick. That's a good game, chat. That's a good game. I gave y'all a good one. I wasn't supposed to lose. I had my plan down, and I was supposed to execute it. I didn't execute it. Now I got a loss. Oh, fucking up my shit. Let me see if his ass online. I don't think he is. Motherfuckers don't even play Madden no more. They play college football. How the fuck I just lose? Uh, damn, they got the hearing on. Hold on. See if I can find this here. How do I watch this shit live? CBS News. What is it on? CNN. But I don't hear that no more. Go back.
concerns. Everybody wants everything to go right. Nobody ever wants to see somebody die. And they complain about it. But at the same time, hypocrisy, they encourage constituents to go after the ICE agents, to challenge them, to hurt them, to attack them. And that doesn't make sense. That's hypocrisy. And then we hear about the concern of, going after Democrats, that the legal system, that judiciary and Department of Justice is going after Democrats. But they literally rework the legal system under Alvin Bragg and Letitia James to go after Republicans and those sympathetic to Republicans. So, be careful when you accuse others that you're not guilty yourself. Be careful of what you say, because you got a history, and it's easy to go over it. I just want to talk about where we were and where we are now. We had over 10 million illegal crossings in the past between 2020 and 24. Over 10 million. There's probably a much bigger number. I'm being conservative. We were told the people weren't dangerous, but they were, General. They were dangerous, many of them. More than 300 individuals on the terror watch list during that time. Violent criminals came across, as we saw consequences where mothers and fathers, daughters and sons, children were raped, murdered, hurt, abused, beaten, trafficked, all from the drugs. My God, the drugs they brought into our babies in this country. 73,000 illegals with criminal histories, 20,000 with convictions of assault, robbery, and sex offenses.
But wait,
13,000 convicted murderers in our beautiful country, 15,000 convicted sexual assault offenders. It was madness. It was insanity. It's bizarre. It's perverse. What in God's name were you doing? So we finally are cleaning this up now. We're finally trying to make it right and safe for our people.
This don't make no sense.
So my questions are this.
General,
do you believe in removing criminal, illegal aliens from our communities?
Oh, I can't even get the shit out. Oh, my Lord. Folks,
Yes,
she was
and
married
given
to Epstein.
the cases that you just discussed, that's proof of it every single day. President Trump is committed to that. This entire cabinet is committed to that and making and keeping Americans safe.
Thank you. Will you agree that...
All right, we're going to stay on top of this important House Judiciary Committee hearing with the Attorney General, Pam Bondi.
Dave,
Much more of our special coverage coming up right after this.
What's happening?
No, don't go nowhere.
Ooh, I want to try.
Don't go anywhere. Just back up under the job.
Oh, that's just sick.
That shit just pissed me off.
Not too sick for
Put
me.
that bitch right back
I
up
got
under the
news for
chair.
you. Saturday at
We're
9
gonna put
on
us in a
CNN
hot seat.
and next day on the
Put
CNN.
us in the hot seat.
Observe.
Hey, don't mind me, y'all.
Hypothesize. Experiment. Test. Share results. Start over.
When I started Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses, I needed a website. And GoDaddy Aero uses AI to make a beautiful website so fast it'll blow my customers' noggins.
While they're shopping for Goggins for their noggins.
Bello was found inside of a shopping bag, severely injured, unable to stand, and completely starving. The cruelty was unimaginable.
When Bello was found, he was likely hours away from death. He was dangerously anemic, meaning his red blood cell count was so low. To walk by him every day and see him lying down because he was starved is the level of cruelty I can't even fathom.
Animals like Bello need your help now. Many are on the brink of survival, injured, starving, and waiting for someone to care. That's why we're asking you to join and help rescue animals in urgent need today. For just $19 a month, only 63 cents a day, you can provide food and medical care to animals who need your help right now. Animals who are facing starvation, cruelty, and neglect need someone they can finally count on. Join today. Go online, call or scan now, and watch your support save lives. Just 63 cents a day provides the meals, the medical care, and the love they need right now. Your support will make all the difference to an animal who's suffering. Join in the next 5 minutes, and we'll send you this free welcome kit and this adorable plush dog.
Seeing a dog like Bello come in was heartbreaking and emotionally devastating. It always upsets me to think that somebody watched him slowly over months decline
Don't let these animals suffer any longer. Donate today, and we'll work tirelessly on your behalf to provide the meals and the medical care they need. But we can't reach the animals who need us without people like you. So please, listen to your heart and take just a minute to help the animals today. Go online, call, or scan the code now.
Your cardiovascular system is a big place. 60,000 miles of blood vessels delivering oxygen and nutrients to every cell in your body. Superbeats by Human supports cardiovascular health with clinically researched ingredients. Effective blood pressure support and daily energy from healthy blood flow support. Your cardiovascular system powers everything you do. Now there's a simple way to return the favor every day. Only Human.
Connect to a legal expert. You have questions, they have answers. These bulldogs will make sure people pay. And if you don't get paid, the attorneys don't get paid. Pick up that phone and call now to see what your case could be worth.
800-859-5659.
Guys, how frustrating is it to find a great pair of jeans? Too tight here, too loose there, too long there? Standard jeans use just 2 measurements. MTailor custom jeans use 7 different measurements to give you the perfect fit. Your phone can measure you right now. Download the MTailor app on iOS or Android. Choose from hundreds of styles. MTailor measures you digitally and is 20% more accurate than a professional tailor. With free shipping and a money-back guarantee, get your new favorite pair of jeans today. MTailor, available on the Apple App Store or Android.
Aaron Burnett out front, tonight at 7 on CNN, and watch on the CNN app.
All right, I want to bring in CNN senior justice correspondent Evan Perez and CNN legal analyst Carrie Cordero as this hearing is underway with the Judiciary Committee in the House and the Attorney General Pam Bondi. Carrie, first to you, what stands out to you so far from what we've heard?
Well, I think it probably won't surprise you that I view this hearing so far as primarily a missed opportunity for the committee to conduct really serious oversight of the changes that have been taking place at the department in the last year, including significantly just the hollowing out of certain departments, divisions within the department, probably most significantly the Civil Rights Division, which has come up a little bit in the hearing in the context of the questions about the shooting of American citizens by ICE in Minneapolis, which the department has not done a serious job so far that we can see of investigating. So I think that the lack of focus on the civil rights enforcement from the perspective of holding law enforcement accountable for these shootings of U.S. citizens, I think has been the biggest missed opportunity in the hearing so far. I think that, as expected, much of the hearing has focused on the Epstein files. There was what I think was the most serious moment of the hearing, which was when Congressman Swalwell discussed the threats that have been brought against him and his family in voicemails to his office, on social media, and his plea to the Attorney General to see that the Justice Department is conducting investigations. And I thought that was a rare moment of bipartisanship where we saw the chairman and the Attorney General and Congressman Swalwell all acknowledge the really serious threat environment that lawmakers are under.
And what did you think of the fact that there were several Epstein survivors, women, who were sitting there in that hearing room, and at some points they stood up, some of the Democrats were pointing to them and asking the Attorney General, why don't you apologize?
Yeah, clearly that was the approach that the Democratic lawmakers decided to take in this hearing, which was to focus almost primarily, with just a couple exceptions, on the Epstein files, on the release, on the compliance by the Justice Department with the Transparency Act. It was a moment of theater in some ways, with a member of Congress asking the Attorney General to turn and face the victims, and the Attorney General not wanting to have that visual and not wanting to participate that. So I think that was sort of the most fireworks event of the hearing. But in all, that clearly was a focus of the Democratic lawmakers. From my perspective, you know me, I'm sort of a policy nerd. I would like to see more focus on the serious oversight issues not related to Epstein that the department needs to be working on.
I can confirm, a policy nerd indeed. All right, Evan.
See, that's what's wrong with the world, right there. Why are you worried about some policies when the people that's creating the policies are here eating people? That's what we need to talk about. Why you out here worried about some policy when the people out here creating the policy are here eating people?
Especially the Alex Pretty killing and the Renee Good killing by ICE agents. Both of those are in her purview, and she could say they also.
Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Why is she the Attorney General?
What the department is trying to do to indict members of Congress for the
I don't want to hear all no more.
members of the military to follow the law. So there's still a lot of chances here to kind of cover relevant ground. It's not clear that she actually wants that, though, because it's clear she came ready with her one-line zingers to attack members of Congress.
Sometimes it appeared she was talking to an audience at one.
Right, it's really an audience at one. This is a performance for President Trump, given the fact that she is, a little bit on the ropes. The president is very frustrated with her that the department has not moved more quickly to go after his enemies.
I thought it was interesting that at one point she started talking about how good the Dow Jones Industrial Average is.
And the greatest president in history.
And she went on and on and on on that. All right, thank you very much. And to our viewers, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Inside Politics with our friend and colleague Dana Bash starts after a short break. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
You better chill out.
This is something no one would have expected even a few months ago.
There's new drama here on Capitol Hill tonight.
I walk over there no more.
I mean, I think a lot of women right now ask that question.
Ooh.
Great pair of lungs. Shame about your swollen gums. You need parodontax, clinically proven to help reverse 4 signs of early gum disease.
That's why I ain't
Gum
got it right
experts.
at the center.
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are immigration and customs enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live, and that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
My name is Noah. I am 11 years old. I'm a
calling
St.
you
Jude
the other
patient.
day.
Noah means
Nice.
everything to me. He is just my whole heart. My whole heart. After Noah's original diagnosis, initially it was this moment of praying for a miracle because it was a massive tumor in the left side of his brain.
Every minute matters for the children at St. Jude. They need your help. For just $19 a month, you can become a St. Jude Partner in Hope and help save lives. Call, go online, or scan the QR code with your gift.
As a parent, you trying your best could be not enough. And seeing a 3-year-old going through what she's going through, it's tough.
I try not to think into the future, but then when your child loses their hair, no, it's hard. You just want to help your child.
Please don't wait. For just $19 a month, you can make a difference in the lives of these kids.
I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Everybody that gets to St. Jude, they have to keep doing what they're doing, because without them, these babies wouldn't make it.
Join with your credit or debit card for only $19 a month, and we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt you can proudly wear to show your support.
It has been a very tough journey for such a small little girl if it wasn't for St. Jude. And the donations, I don't know where Maisie would be.
And brave.
And courageous.
And courageous.
Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
Help St. Jude find more cures for more children. Please donate now.
Dry eye relief with the prescription MIBO drop? Remove contact lenses before using MIBO. Wait at least 30 minutes before putting them back in. Eye redness and blurred vision may occur. ask about MyBo.
You've put up with your old shower for too long. It's outdated, unsafe, and it's time to replace it. But why struggle with a lengthy shower remodel when Jacuzzi can do it in just one day? And there's no need to break a sweat or your budget.
For a limited time, get free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
So you can finally convert your old bath to a safer, easy entry shower, complete with a custom seat, grab bars, and slip-resistant floor installed in 1 day.
My overall experience with Jacuzzi has been wonderful. Everything was customized to the way I wanted it for the price that I wanted to pay.
I've had a great experience from start to finish.
Don't take matters into your own hands. Do it the smart way. Give Jacuzzi Bath Remodel a call.
Call or go online now to jacuzzibathremodel.com. For the first time ever, we're offering free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-261-6954.
Disaster. The Chernobyl meltdown. March 1st on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
Closed captioning brought to you by mesobook.com.
If you or a loved one have mesothelioma, we'll send you a free book to answer questions you may have. Call now and we'll come to you.
800-821-4000.
This is CNN Breaking News.
Welcome to Inside Politics. I'm Dana Bash in Washington, and we've been watching a congressional hearing erupt into shouting matches. Attorney General Pam Bondi has been defiant and explosive as she fields questions from members of the House Judiciary Committee, and it's happening on multiple fronts and multiple controversies, including the Justice Department's release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. First, just watch this exchange with Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal.
It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer. So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't
a
she
question.
ask Merrick Garland this?
I am
Twice
reclaiming
when
my
he sat in my
time, and
chair.
when I
will
reclaim
continue
my
to
time,
answer.
it
Mr. Chairman, the gentleman has reclaimed
I'm not
her
going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
There was also this moment when Congresswoman Jayapal asked Jeffrey Epstein survivors who are in the room to raise their hands if they haven't been able to meet with the Justice Department. Every one of them raised their hands. Now, Bondi did acknowledge in her opening statement the victims, and she said she's deeply sorry for what they've been through and that the FBI wants to hear from them. Over the last 2 hours, it has been very clear that the Attorney General was speaking to an audience of one. Lots of moments like this.
Robert Mueller found no evidence, none, of foreign interference in 2016. Have you apologized to President Trump? Have you apologized to President Trump, all of you who participated in those impeachment hearings against Donald Trump? You all should be apologizing. You sit here and you attack the president, and I am not going to have it. I'm not going to put up with it.
I want to go back to the hearing, which is still going on, and listen.
Bro, that's not your job. Your job is not to protect the president, dude.
Raise your hand if you're confident.
Your job is to protect the people.
Got your back. And that's the issue, Madam AG. We've got to make sure that victims stand up and report the crimes. Otherwise, we're going to be taking a step backwards. Today, AI, cyber, social media, the new realm for people to be hurt, attacked sexually. These are the areas I'd welcome the opportunity to work with you on. It's not your problem. It's not my problem. It's our problem. But to have redacted files that are not showing us the names of these predators, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
These are very powerful people. This was a very expensive business. And we don't know who they are.
Nope.
I would imagine they're very prominent Republicans, very Republican Democrats. And we are covering up for them.
Nah.
We got to know what's going on out there, Madam AG. It looks like you want to say something. I'm going to give the opportunity to address
You covering up
my
for something. What we doing?
I look forward to working with you on any crimes involving child sex predators, children, and also cyber crimes. That is a tremendous problem now throughout our country. AI, you are correct. AI is causing great problems online.
Oh my God! You want to talk about AI?
AI is an incredible tool, but it also can be fraught with peril with victims of crime. I've experienced that with someone I know who we've been trying to help. I look forward, though, to working with you on that and all
Madam,
cyber crimes. Can I?
Please, go ahead.
And as I said before, to any victims, we ask
Charlotte,
you
can I
to
finish?
come
You want to say
forward
something about the
to
victims
our
now, because you know
office,
you
and
ain't
we
saying
want
nothing
to
about
work with them. I
Charlotte,
have never not worked with a victim, and I believe I've actually spoken to several of the
Madam,
victims'
if I can reclaim my time, I
sitting
only have a minute.
behind me.
Yeah,
I can
we don't want to
reclaim
hear you
my
no more
time.
because you
I
said
just
bullshit.
think we start out by making sure those redactions are unredacted.
Yeah, that's
those
what we want.
Epstein files, to make sure that the public, according to the law, following the law, that those names in those files are made public.
Yes.
We have to make sure we tell those predators there is no place for them to hide, and if they commit the crime, they're going to fry for it. It starts with showing us the names
Showing us the name
in the Epstein files.
You don't want to hear nothing you talking about.
May I respond to that?
Sure.
Okay.
What you got to say?
So, if any man's name was redacted that should not have been, we will, of course, unredact it.
What?
If a victim's name was unredacted, please bring it to us and we will redact it. We were given 30 days to review and redact and unredact millions of pages of documents. Our error rate is very low, but there are always
right behind you. You've got to convince them that we're doing a good job
everything
of
we can
protecting
to help
them.
the victims. We will
Thank
do
you,
everything
Mr.
we can.
Chair, I'm out of time.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from California, Mr. Kiley, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Madam Attorney General.
Oh,
I want to
my
return to
Lord.
the point that the chairman raised
What
at
we
the beginning
doing?
of this hearing, which is these jurisdictions that refuse to honor detainer requests from Immigration and Customs Enforcement, often called sanctuary jurisdictions. Now, I know that you are not involved directly in immigration operations per se, but you do deal with the legal issues surrounding these jurisdictions. So let's say we have someone who's here illegally, who has committed a crime that, like the thousands of people you mentioned in California, murderers, sexual predators, drug traffickers. If that individual is in detention in a jurisdiction that has a sanctuary policy where they do not honor ICE detainers versus in any other jurisdiction where they do, how does the nature of apprehending that person, how does the nature of ICE's involvement in that operation differ in those two circumstances?
Well, I believe you've seen that in Minnesota, where people were not cooperating with us. I believe there a lot of local law enforcement did want to cooperate, but we are doing everything in our power to arrest and deport illegal criminal aliens, and that is not going to stop under Donald Trump's administration. You know, why sanctuary cities are so dangerous, what we've seen in Minneapolis. Where do all the criminals go? The gangs, TDA, MS-13. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to a sanctuary jurisdiction because they believe they're protected, and that's not fair to the citizens of those cities.
Yeah, and this is a point that there at least used to be a lot of consensus on. The idea that, you know, it's better to do a handoff to the immigration authorities in a custodial setting rather than releasing them where they have to be apprehended in the community. This is Alejandro Mayorkas when he was before this committee, not exactly a paragon of border security, but he said, "I do not consider it in the service of public safety to release an individual into the community when that individual can be released to Immigration and Customs Enforcement for prompt removal." Now, his words are one thing, his actions are another. But when you have jurisdictions across the country, including my state of California, doing systematically precisely the thing that even Alejandro Mayorkas said threatens public safety, I mean, what does that say to you?
It's a danger to the citizens of your community.
Yeah,
Thank you for fighting to protect them.
Absolutely. And you know, we're having this conversation
Why you
right now
agreeing to
in
that,
relation
but
to
you ain't
Homeland
agreeing to
Security
the
funding.
pedophiles?
And I believe there are some common sense reforms that have been proposed that folks on both sides would agree make sense, but those reforms have to go hand in hand with reforming this reckless practice of refusing to cooperate, refusing to honor detainers, and declaring oneself to be a sanctuary. So I'm hoping that we can find bipartisan support for what has long been a bipartisan principle. I want to go to a second topic, which is the school board memo, which I know that you have rescinded, and it was initially promulgated by Attorney General Garland when he came into office with President Biden, essentially opening an investigation into parents who are showing up at school board meetings and expressing their views on COVID policies, masks, various other issues, and using the full apparatus of federal law enforcement and counterterrorism to go after these parents. Now, he said this was because there was an increase of threats, but when even his own FBI director, Christopher Wray, was before this committee, he said there was no evidence of an increase in threats. Yet nevertheless, when I asked him if he regretted the memo, Attorney General Garland said there was absolutely nothing wrong with the memo. Now, I take it you disagree with that, having now rescinded it?
Absolutely. That was one of the main focuses of President Trump and this administration. We will protect parents at school boards. We will protect children in schools. We will protect parents' rights for their children's education in our school system in this country. We will protect Christians. We will protect everyone who wants to freely protest. If Christians want to protest in front of an abortion clinic without being arrested, they will do so.
Thank you very much. And finally, I thank you for your efforts to step up the detection and rooting out of fraud. My home state is California. Any idea if there might be any fraud going on in California?
Well, we are establishing, as you have heard, a fraud unit, and I'm sorry you're having to deal with that in your state, but the cavalry's coming. And we have Colin McDonald, who is hopefully will be confirmed soon. We're working on Minneapolis. I don't know if you were sitting here when I said that, but California was right up there. I'm sorry to say for both sides of the aisle that California is right up there with fraud. It's out of control. We are coming to your rescue. Donald Trump is coming to your rescue.
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, I think you'll find that what's happening in California pales in comparison to what's been going on in Minnesota. Thank you. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Actually, I think the gentlelady from Pennsylvania.
Gentleman from Pennsylvania is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bondi, I'm here. On September 25th, President Trump signed a memorandum known as NSPM 7, purporting to address domestic terrorism. But Americans across the political spectrum were immediately alarmed by the memo's blurring of the line between unlawful conduct and constitutionally protected speech and activity, as well as its call to investigate, prosecute, and dismantle groups that the president and Stephen Miller described without evidence as, quote, an organized campaign of radical left terrorism. Now, counterterrorism experts were further alarmed by the administration's singular focus on left-wing extremism, combined with the sudden deletion from the DOJ website of decades of research and law enforcement analysis, which had concluded that right-wing extremism poses the greatest terrorism threat to Americans. The president's memo broadly and vaguely links violent conduct to ideologies, and it targeted specifically anti-American, anti-Christian, and anti-capitalist beliefs, as well as, quote, hostility to so-called traditional American views on family, end quote. President Trump has repeatedly and openly, however falsely, tried to brand his political opponents with these sentiments listed in his memo. But as you know, as a lawyer, holding beliefs that the White House disagrees with is not a crime. And the statute defining domestic terrorism requires criminal acts, not just thoughts and ideas. That's why legal experts, nonprofit leaders, religious freedom and civil rights advocates immediately raised the alarm that the new presidential directive was a politically motivated attack on civil society designed to silence those who disagree with the administration. So, Ms. Bondi, Section 3 of that memo directed you, as Attorney General, to submit to the President and Stephen Miller a list of groups or entities whose members are engaged in acts that meet the definition of domestic terrorism. And then on December 4th, you directed the FBI to work with a variety of law enforcement entities to compile a list of groups and entities engaged in such acts, by January 3rd, 2026, and to update that report every 30 days thereafter. So can we assume that you or persons under your direction at the Department of Justice have prepared that list of groups or entities who are designated as domestic terrorist organizations? And I just remind you, that's a yes or no question. Did you prepare
I'm not
the
going to
list?
answer it yes or no, but what I will
why you
say
ain't gonna answer yes or no?
is I know Antifa is part of that. I will talk to you about
I'm
that.
reclaiming
and on
my time.
February
I
5th,
asked you
2025,
whether you
an
prepared
Antifa member
a
was
list.
arrested in Minneapolis
I'm
federal court
reclaiming
for
my
cycle
time.
stalking.
Did you
They ask
have
a question
a
and
list?
don't want an answer.
The answer is yes or no.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Pennsylvania. Gentlelady can proceed.
Okay. So will you commit to providing this committee with any list of organizations that you have recommended be designated as domestic
That's your job. Did you do your
terrorist
job? No, that's all
organizations?
she asked you. Did you do your job? No.
We will comply with the law in all matters.
Will you commit to provide this committee with your list of entities that you recommend be designated as domestic terrorist organizations?
Your job was to provide this list.
I'm not going to
December.
commit to
It's
anything
fucking
to you because
2/11.
you won't let me answer questions.
You said you're going to have it by
Okay,
January. It's
we do
2/11.
understand
She asked you
that
just
your
have it
current
here.
position is
You
that you have
said,
a
you started
secret
talking about
list of
other shit. She
people
said
or
she don't want to hear you
groups
talk. She didn't want to hear
that
yes
you
or no.
are
You ain't
accusing
say
of
yes or
domestic
no.
terrorism, but you won't
sit right here
share it
smile.
with Congress. And I'd remind you that when the U.S. government designates an entity as a foreign terrorist organization, it must report that to Congress and to the entity, because the government can make a mistake and the entity has the opportunity to contest it. So your position seems to be that if you falsely designate an American or an American organization as a terrorist group, there's nothing they can do about it.
Nope.
I think we get it. You don't want to answer the
No,
question.
you don't get anything regarding public safety.
Thank you.
Nothing.
Thank you for the insult. It's clear you didn't come to Congress prepared to answer questions that the American people have every right to have answered. But if you were to prepared to answer truthfully, here's what we expect the facts to show. The administration is keeping lists of Americans who the White House says are engaged in domestic terrorism. Those lists could include Americans who have not committed any acts of terrorism, but simply disagree with this administration, people like Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And your list may include clergy, elected officials, and members of indivisible groups across the country. And those lists likely don't include Proud Boys or Oath Keepers who were actually convicted. Americans have never tolerated political demagogues who use the government to punish people on an enemies list. It brought down McCarthy, it brought down Nixon, and it will bring down this administration as well.
And you're right.
I yield back.
That's why we're so glad they rescinded the memorandum targeting parents. For goodness sake, as the gentleman from California just pointed out in his 5 minutes, the gentleman from Kentucky is recognized for 5
May I respond very briefly to her statement?
I think we can do that probably on one of our members' time.
Okay, thank you. I don't want that to get away. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Behind me, I
don't
have
want
3
that to get away.
documents from the DOJ production that are emblematic of the massive failure of the DOJ to comply with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. To my right is an email that was sent by the victim's lawyers to the DOJ. It was a list of names not to redact, or sorry, a list of names not to release. What did the DOJ do with this email? They released this email in the document production. Literally the worst thing you could do to the survivors, you did. And they're getting phone calls. A lot of these people didn't want to be known. And we know you touched the document because you redacted one name. You redacted the lawyer's name, but you left the survivor's name there. The next document I want to show you.
You redacted one name, but not the survivors, but talking about to support the survivors.
Names, right? The title of this one is Child Sex Trafficking. Co-conspirators. Fully redacted. And by the way, I'm going to unredact them here.
Uh-oh.
Les Wexner is in this.
Les Wexner.
Now, your deputy attorney general said, he appears hundreds of times in the files. But he doesn't appear in this file until I forced you to release it, where he's listed as a co-conspirator, not to tax evasion, but to child sex trafficking. not to prostitution, not to money laundering, child sex trafficking. And then finally, what we have here is the third exhibit that I have is emblematic of the FD 302 release. These are the documents that we need that you're holding on to and over-redacting because they have the names of the men who are implicated. How do we know? Because the survivors gave testimony to the FBI, and it's in there. And what happens when you go to the portal at the DOJ to look at what's behind this redaction? Another redaction. So we can't even see them. And then there's some of these files you've pulled down from the website that we will never see because we can't search the redactions. So I have several questions for you. Who's responsible? Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document?
Yep.
Do you have that kind of accountability?
Wow!
I believe Wexner's name was listed more than 4,000 times.
Yeah, I already told you that. This is where he's listed as a co-conspirator.
Can I finish my answer?
What are you talking about?
Come on, let me finish my answer. We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time. Mr. Chairman.
This isn't how this works.
Can I have my time back? Mr. Chairman.
The gentle lady can give her answer. The time belongs to the gentleman from Kentucky.
All right, I'm reclaiming my time.
Can I give my answer?
So I'm going to put the language of the bill up on the screen.
Chairman, may I give my answer on that? It's a political joke, and I need to give my answer on that.
We'll let the Attorney General respond, and then the gentleman can move to the next question.
It's my time.
Within 40 minutes, you asked me a question. Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
Red-handed? There was one redaction out of over 4,700, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician. You need to
want you to watch the video. Mr. Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim time when you don't.
This is bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer the question the way you
goes over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's where the
I want to know at what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, please, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not, and it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you were one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering, the gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman is recognized for a UC.
All right. This is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted, even when you go to look at them.
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement that implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times that the DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from A.G. Bondi to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files.
Chairman, are we going to
I'm
going to recess for votes? Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent a document of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection. Just want to check on how much time we have left in votes, but one thing I've learned here of late that they'll wait on this. How much time do we have? Oh, they just called. Okay. The chair now recognizes the gentleman from Maryland.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to start by saying I appreciate what you said, Attorney General Bondi, and you said it to me personally, that you take the personal security of every member of Congress seriously and that people can contact you about that. And in these times, that's a very serious matter. So I thank you for that. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 7 of the Constitution is the Domestic Emoluments Clause. And it says that the president is limited to his salary in office and cannot receive any other money from the federal government while he's in office. It cannot be increased by $1. This president is the first president in U.S. history who has repeatedly sued the federal government for $230 million for the judicial search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, which was perfectly lawful and was never struck down. But now he's suing the IRS for $10 billion. He's suing the IRS for $10 billion, which I think is around 80% of its annual budget, because his tax returns were leaked. And they were illegally leaked by a private contractor who actually is in prison now, Charles Littlejohn, but he wants $10 billion. Now, well, I want to ask you the question of whether you think it would violate the Domestic Emoluments Clause for you to settle that $10 billion case or any of the other claims that the president has made against the government. He himself has remarked, it's interesting because I'm the one that makes the deal, right? And he says, I kind of have to work it out with myself. Do you think it would violate the Domestic Emoluments Clause for the president to work out a deal from people who are his subordinates under his unitary executive theory to get money in one of these cases?
I'm not going to discuss pending litigation.
What? Okay, so theoretically you're saying because his privacy rights were violated in that tax case, and they were. I'm with the president on that. I mean, his Mar-a-Lago thing is ridiculous, but there's no doubt that his tax returns, despite the fact that he promised to release them, despite the fact that every other president released the tax returns, he suffered embarrassment when it showed that he hadn't paid taxes for several years, and he had a right for that not to happen. Now, I want to turn back to the Epstein survivors, because President Trump may have been a little bit embarrassed by the release of those tax returns. How much do you think the claims of these survivors are worth? As the good congressman from Kentucky just pointed out, there were lots of survivors who had decided, for reasons of their own, never to release their names. That determination was represented to people in Congress, and we built it into our federal law that their names could not be released, and yet you published their names, their phone numbers, their addresses, personally identifying information. If Donald Trump can get $10 billion theoretically from the Department of Justice, how much should these people get for a far worse violation of their privacy rights and a far greater danger established to them in their lives?
Do you even know who Chase Mulligan is? You're so obsessed with, you don't, do you?
I'm going to teach you the rules again. You're the Attorney General of the United States. We have rules here.
You're obsessed with him.
You're the Attorney General of the United States.
You're obsessed with Donald Trump. You have Trump derangement syndrome.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like my time restored. I'd like my time restored.
In your district. In your district, and you don't even know about it, about keeping children safe from online predators.
Time belongs to the gentleman from Maryland. The gentleman can proceed.
Yeah, and I want the whole country to look at this. Because this is the Attorney General of the United States, whose job is law enforcement. We've never had a witness who has misunderstood our rules and been unable to conform his or her conduct to our rules before. We have only 5 minutes, and so we use our time to ask you specific questions.
How long are you giving me to
Excuse me, I'm not yielding to you right now. I'd like that second restored too. So, Ms. Bondi, the way it works is we ask you a question and you answer it, and if you go off on a wild goose chase, another tangent, you start reading statistics, or you start talking about stuff going on in our district. And by the way, I invite you to my district. Come to my district, but that's not what we're here to do today. Okay? So, and you do that, then we're allowed to say we reclaim our time. At that point, you have to be quiet. You have no choice. You have to be quiet. So I hope you understand the rule of this board. Now, here's what I want to ask you. You're in law enforcement. We've seen all kinds of evidence of crimes. And when we go over to the Department of Justice for the 4 computers for every member of Congress, we see more evidence of crimes. Will you create a joint task force of the Department of Justice and governors and state attorney generals and district attorneys across the country to investigate the crimes that have taken place against these victims and more than 1,000 like them? The DOJ is not doing its job. Will you create a task force with state and local law enforcement to make that happen?
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. Will you create a task force? That's what your job is.
Thank you, Chairman. He called Chase Mulligan a wild goose chase and didn't even know who he was. He is a defendant in your own district who preyed on girls.
Mr. Chairman.
Well, you know what? If he were part of the Epstein investigation, you wouldn't do anything about it.
Online chat rooms and committed sextortion. Yet he didn't even know in your tiny little district who he was.
Mr. Chairman, she's embarrassing you.
He's about to be
This is your committee, and she is embarrassing you.
Shame on you.
The time of the gentleman has expired. I would remind the committee that last Congress, Secretary Mayorkas was here numerous times, and he wouldn't answer our questions, even when we sent them to him ahead of time in writing. So that's what we've had to deal with. I think the Attorney General is doing just fine. We have votes shortly. I will go to the gentleman from Virginia, and then we will take a break to head to the floor.
I thank the Chairman, Attorney General Bondi. Thank you for being here. And I wanted to thank you for your work at DOJ in restoring the rule of law, encouraging transparency surrounding Jack Smith's partisan investigations into President Trump, declassifying information.
Okay, we are watching a very, very intense, acrimonious hearing between the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, you see her there, and members of the House Judiciary Committee. I want to bring in our panel, and we're going to talk about the sort of atmospherics in a minute. But first, MJ Lee, you are here. You have been covering the Epstein crimes, and more importantly, given what we just heard from not one but 2 members of Congress, the victims and how they feel they have been treated or mistreated with the release of these files. Talk about what we heard from both Jamie Raskin in the question and answer, the question, because she didn't answer it, and Thomas Massey, the Republican who has been probably the one who has spearheaded the release of these files more than any other Republican, much to the chagrin of Donald Trump.
And actually may have been the only Republican to focus his questions in this hearing to Bondi about Epstein, unless I missed it earlier in the hearing. The strategy for the lawmakers who have been questioning Bondi about Epstein largely seems to be to do the greatest hits of redaction failures by the DOJ, whether it is victims' names that were not properly redacted, co-conspirators, and other bad actors whose names were redacted, 302s that were just completely blacked out. The aim appears to be to sort of paint the DOJ throughout this process as having been completely incompetent or sloppy or corrupt. And I think the visual of the survivors actually sitting in the audience right behind Bondi was quite powerful, and it's no surprise that some of these lawmakers directly pointed to the survivors, asking them at some points to stand up so that everybody could see, and that Bondi would be forced to reckon with the fact that those women represent women who have been victims in the past and whose lives have been turned upside down. I'll tell you, Jenna, one sort of refrain from Bondi that has really not sat well with the survivors is her repeated assertion that if you know something about Epstein, come to the FBI. We want to hear from you. We are eager to hear your story.
And she said that several times in her opening statement.
Yeah, she said that several times, and one survivor in the room texted me, "We have gone to the FBI for almost 30 years, multiple exclamation points. I mean, they find such irony in the fact that the FBI now is saying
nobody go to jail.
anyone that wants to give us
All
information
crimes
about
should be
Epstein, we are
explored,
here to listen to you,
everything.
when they feel like we are at this moment in time precisely because the FBI and law enforcement didn't listen to the reports that we made, and some of these women are even looking for their FBI files still.
We're going to sneak in a quick break. We're going to have a lot more to talk about and to show you and to explain, give context around what we have heard in this hearing. Don't go anywhere.
Have I Got News for You? New episodes Saturday at 9 on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
Chef Lena is taking the Tide Boosted test.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I need it. I washed it with this stuff, and it still smells.
Oof.
Stinks.
No, I'm good.
I'm running out of ideas.
Try Tide. It's boosted. The other stuff can't match Tide's Boosted Clean. Test passed.
It's clean.
Yeah, it smells great.
No, really smell it. It smells amazing.
It's cleaner, whiter, brighter, and fresher. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
It's Empire's 50-50-50 sale. Up to 50% off select styles of carpet and flooring. Up to 50% off padding and materials. Up to 50% off installation. That's right, up to 50% off your entire project. You can save thousands. Don't miss Empire's 50-50-50 sale and save up to 50% off select styles of carpet and flooring. Up to 50% off padding and materials. Up to 50% off installation. Visit EmpireToday.com or call or text
800-588-2300 Today.
Giving my son a needle during an allergic reaction is traumatic for both of us. His food allergies are a lot to manage. So we booked a hassle-free virtual visit with a prescriber. And we said, hello, Neffy, the only needle-free epinephrine nasal spray for emergency treatment of allergic reactions.
I wish allergic reactions didn't control my life. I want epinephrine that fits my lifestyle. Something safe, works as well as a needle injector, is easy to carry, and that I actually see myself using. That's why I said, hello, Neffy.
Use it first signs of allergic reaction. Ask your doctor how to use Neffy. If you have medical conditions or take certain medicines, your condition may worsen. Tell your doctor about nasal, heart, thyroid, or kidney issues, high blood pressure, Parkinson's, diabetes, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, and all medications. Side effects include nasal discomfort, headache, runny nose, shakiness, and throat irritation. These are not all side effects.
We don't hesitate to treat at the first sign of symptoms.
And it's always with me on the go.
Book a hassle-free virtual visit at getneffy.com today and pay as little as $0 for at least 4 Neffy devices.
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers, they're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live, and that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is
He looks distracted. Oh, strong. Well, he said it wasn't always about protests. You think we should get Mississippi straightened out? Before we worry about the Congo, we had never get Mississippi straight. Fuck. Right now, to this day, nigga, they invading Congo. They trying to invade Congo for they what's it called? Malcolm X said that back then. That's crazy. Mhm. Crazy work. Injustice anywhere. Injustice to all of us. Oh, my mama, like, what? Oh, for real? She stay doing that shit. Like, what the fuck would I even have to do with this shit? Bro, why can't freak? Fuck am I doing? I need to look up at this one though. You, I'm waiting on A ass, but I was just glad he didn't fuck up the throw.
Save on comfort that adapts to you night after night. Shop now for a limited time, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Best gift ever. I hope you didn't break the bank.
Your boy here's doing just fine. His Empower investment accounts are designed for the long haul. And nothing says I love you like a
Aqua Cruiser Golf Green Deluxe.
Man, I want one.
get good at money so you can be a little bad. Empower.
Total Beats. America's best-selling Beats brand is available at Walmart. Total Beats blood pressure support soft chews contain a key ingredient clinically shown to deliver 2 times better blood pressure support. Take control of your health. Head to Walmart and get Total Beats blood pressure support soft chews today.
What he thought this was? Like I was a goof or something?
I mean, I am.
You know, child, what the fuck you thought I was? Goofy or something? Like I ain't like I don't do this shit. I forgot I could do both though, yo.
Same. I hate this thing, but it's
You
true.
got like
You
to
can
play
see
some
hundreds
shit,
on
play the
LinkedIn.
game, do some make shit. Okay.
Bipperty? Bipperty.
Thank you. Waiting on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting on that one.
And some cannolis.
Only pay
Give me that.
need.
Give me that.
At Amazon, hourly
Give me that.
employees earn an average of over $23 an hour.
All right, what do we think?
It's my, give me that. Give me that shit.
Megacone.
Give me that shit, nigga. My turn.
Guess this is
My turn.
At Amazon, skills
He's gonna come with a blitz, y'all.
can move hourly employees into
I'm gonna throw it to B, maybe. Ooh.
and that's a win you can
Hell yeah. Oh, I almost got it. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Take back off. That's what I gotta do.
Plane's having mechanical problems, and I think we're gonna miss the big game. Well, I'm gonna badge it to the game. You're welcome to join me. With Badget, you're guaranteed a recovery plan.
He blitz. I throw quick. Simple.
Paying you ready to badge it to your destination.
He blitz. I throw quick. Simple. Bob. He blitz. I throw quick. Simple. Bob. Stop blitzing me. That shit ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Put your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease in check. With Rinvoq, a once daily pill, and it works differently.
I got rapid relief at 2 weeks.
I'll put that spicy on.
It
It
helps
ain't gonna
visibly
get you
prepare
nowhere.
my
It
intestinal
gets
lining.
spicy around.
Check.
But you gonna have a goose egg. It realize spicy
Rinvoq can
around.
lower
You
ability
gonna
to
have
fight
relax
infections.
goose.
Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal.
Yeah, man.
Cancers, including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occur.
Spicy around
CV
these
event
people.
risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these
You're not
events,
getting the
infection,
ball,
Hep
man.
B or C, smoke,
You're not got the ball
pregnant, or
first.
planning. Don't take
So that
Rinvoq
means
or have an infection.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist.
I done been in this
about
position
Rinvoq.
before too, on the
Wet
opposite
dry
side.
eyes,
You,
need a boost?
all I had to do is throw one more time. That's just over with. But we really gotta lock you in on B.
Hours of relief to help you keep going.
Come on now.
Relief with every blink.
Come on now.
Hi, Susan. Honey.
You smelling
I
that
respect
shit.
that, but that cough looks pretty bad. Try this Robitussin honey.
The only brand with True Source certified honey.
Mind if I root through your trash?
The powerful cough relief you need. Gillette Labs is just a fancy-looking Fusion 5? No, it ain't. It's Gillette's best shape. And its ultra-sharp blades last 50% longer. Hey, Joe, come feel my cheeks.
Dad.
Gillette.
Uh-huh.
The man can get.
Keeps getting better.
Cool.
Closed captioning brought to you by Mesobook.com.
If you or a loved one have mesothelioma, we'll send you a free book to answer questions you may have. Call
Come
now,
on.
and we'll come to
Free.
you.
800-821-4000.
Chasing every lead. After releasing video and pictures, officials in Arizona are hunting for new clues in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Fuck,
We'll
they
get
let
an
me
update
not
on that
run with
search.
him.
Plus, on the Hill and out of order, Attorney General Pam Bondi facing off with Democrats over the Epstein files in a fiery hearing. How she's addressing the Justice Department's handling of that investigation.
And airspace about face. A lot of questions about why federal authorities shut down, then reopened the airspace over El Paso. We're following these major developing stories and many more, all coming in right here to CNN News Central.
We start this afternoon with breaking news in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Media outlet TMZ is now reporting that it received a new note via email from someone claiming to know who Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper is. The person reportedly is demanding 1 Bitcoin in exchange for information. Here's what the founder of TMZ is saying.
We got kind of a bizarre letter, an email from somebody who says they know who the kidnapper is and that they have tried reaching Savannah's sister Annie and Savannah's brother to no avail. and they said they want 1 Bitcoin sent to a Bitcoin address that we confirmed is active. It's a real Bitcoin address. As they put it, time is more than relevant.
1 Bitcoin is worth about $66,000. Remember, the FBI is offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to Guthrie's recovery. Just 24 hours have now passed since the FBI shared this doorbell camera video with the public. Officials today are scouring new tips 11 days after Guthrie was
Can't even
last
watch
seen.
the video.
CNN's Josh Campbell is leading us off today. And Josh, I understand you just got brand new information on a search that's underway right now.
That's right, Boris. FBI agents now back out on the streets in Tucson. We're learning from the Bureau. I'll read you a statement that they just issued. They say that this morning, numerous FBI agents are conducting an extensive search along multiple roadways in the Catalina foothills area related to the Nancy Guthrie investigation. They asked people to follow all traffic laws, to remain especially cautious when passing law enforcement personnel near the roadways. Now, as far as what they are actually searching for, a law enforcement source tells me that they're working to determine if any of the items that you see on that person there who was on that doorbell video may have been discarded as this individual left the Guthrie residence after Nancy's disappearance. And so we're seeing these agents now fan out along the roadways, try to see if they can find any of these items, the mask, the backpack, and the like. Of course, those could provide important clues, including possible DNA information if they're able to be recovered, of course.
Josh, what do you make of this new demand for 1
That's a dot. You know where you're going. The inside face, throw it to the outside.
Especially with the context that there have been previous messages that have purportedly been sent to the family regarding the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie that turned out to
Cooking
be
their ass.
illegitimate. How do you read this one?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. I mean, I think there's a lot more we need to learn about these purported letters and demands. The unfortunate reality in these high-profile cases is sometimes authorities and the public will be flooded with tips that are actually valid, some that are unrelated to a case, and some that's just pure disinformation.
Why are they putting
so we
what's
have to
it
wait
called?
and see. I think caution is probably the watchword here, as it is for law enforcement. So far, authorities haven't indicated that the past letter that was received by TMZ and some other outlets is even valid. So, the Bureau says that they're taking every lead seriously. They will look into it, but I think it's too soon to draw a conclusion about this latest big.
I've been in my bed like I just.
So last night, FBI Director Kash Patel said that persons of interest.
I've been in my bed like I just.
We saw a man be detained, his home and vehicle searched, and then hours after questioning, he was released. He was asked by a number of outlets why he had been detained. He said he didn't know. Do we have any reporting on what led investigators to this person who was ultimately, again, released?
Well, authorities aren't saying how he actually got onto their radar, but the man was actually interviewed by our colleague Norma Galeana, who he said that he was initially arrested by local law enforcement, and then a couple hours later, the FBI arrived, and they started to interview him. They asked him about this Nancy Guthrie kidnapping, and he said, I don't even know what you're talking about. I haven't heard of this. He was arrested south of Tucson, eventually released. So again, there is a big question about why authorities were actually looking at him in the first place. As you mentioned, the FBI director did say that there were persons of interest, plural, that the FBI was looking into, working to determine if there's any association with this case. He didn't discuss what may have caused someone to come under suspicion, but that is notable, the use of the word plural, and we have to imagine this is all part of this effort that is now going on behind the scenes. You essentially have two parts. You have the FBI appealing to the public with the release of this new video, wanting people to look at that imagery, but a lot of things that they're certainly not going to share, particularly if they are able to positively identify who they think that person is. We expect they would probably, work to try to, get that person safely into custody before any announcements are made. But, we're still waiting to see. Obviously, this just horrific case continues. The whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie remain unknown. So the investigation plods ahead.
Josh Campbell, thank you so much for that update in the case. Brianna?
And we turn now to the Hill and Attorney General Pam Bondi's contentious hearing before the House Judiciary Committee. Bondi is on the hot seat over DOJ's handling of the Epstein files because of investigations into President Trump's political rivals and for the fatal shootings of 2 U.S. citizens by federal agents. At times, the hearing devolving into a shouting match, personal attacks and all.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, oh, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
You lawyer? You're not even a lawyer.
CNN Chief Legal Affairs Correspondent Paula Reed is on the Hill for this hearing. Paula, I think they're having an extended break for votes right now, but we're expecting more of what has been high drama.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yesterday, a Justice Department official, someone who formerly worked in the department, told me that her strategy today should be to take the temperature down, assure lawmakers she's committed to transparency around the Epstein files, but she's taking a completely different approach. She's turning that thermostat all the way up and throwing down with any lawmaker that asks her about the Epstein files. From the very first question in this hearing, this swiftly devolved into a shouting match as she was asked to directly address Epstein survivors in the room. Now, she did address them in her opening remarks, but when she was pressed by a Democratic lawmaker, here's what happened.
To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand.
Why they stay showing this clip? Don't show that clip. Show
And
the
if
clip
you
where
are
Bucko
willing,
was going on.
please raise your hands if you have still
They
not
all
been able
with
to
that shit,
meet
bro.
with
Everybody
this
with that shit.
Department of Justice.
I'm convinced everybody with that shit, bro. They're not showing the right shit. They steady want to
Now,
show
she
this shit,
has
but they need to
historically
show-
done really
they
well
need to show
in
what-
these
oh,
hearings
Bucko
by
was on
remaining
that.
composed, sticking to her
Tell my
talking
ass
points.
what?
It's clear the Attorney General has made a decision, though, today to be especially combative because we expect that will play well at the White House, where she needs to restore some goodwill. Now, there was just one, a moment of bipartisan consensus when Representative Swalwell talked about threats against lawmakers. That was something where the Attorney General agreed they could work together. But anyone coming to this hearing today looking for more information about the Epstein files, about any open investigations, mistakes that were made, will come away disappointed.
Yeah, they certainly will. And Paula, the redactions here have been at the heart of so many questions by lawmakers. The fact that a number of men who are facing allegations, maybe not official, I would say official claims of wrongdoing, but there are certainly questions to be asked about their behavior or their inclusion in these files. They've seen their names redacted, while a number of victims have had their names and their personal information out there. How has that been a part of the questioning? How has Bondi responded?
It's really interesting because one of the strongest lines of questioning came from Republican Representative Massey, who really pressed Bondi on why victims were not more thoroughly protected in these redactions, why some alleged co-conspirators, their names were covered up. Bondi clearly came prepared for these kinds of questions. And at first, she tried to answer how quickly some of these mistakes were fixed. She also points to the fact that they didn't have a lot of time to do this, but then eventually she pivoted back to lobbing insults and making accusations against the lawmaker. So again, the Justice Department has not been able to put forward a really comprehensive explanation for all of these mistakes that were made in the redaction process.
Yeah, I think she called him a, quote, failed politician. And that was kind of par for the course with so many people who she didn't feel were on her side. She appeared to show up with little prepared one-liner insults for them. Paula, we will let you go. We know there is more for you to cover. Thank you so much. Still to come, some new details about why the FAA temporarily closed El Paso's airspace, caused quite a mess, and we'll talk about that. Plus, a brand new jobs report revealing stronger than expected growth, but there is a huge revision that's also buried in the details. And later, the House is about to vote on a bill that could make it harder for Americans to cast ballots, including married women who have changed their last names. We'll have that and much more coming up on CNN News Central.
Have I Got News for You? New episodes Saturday at 9 on CNN and next day on the CNN app. And Doug.
There it is, Limu, the 50-yard line. Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance. To save people hundreds! Whoa. Looks like we're walking.
Get them at halftime. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Put
Put your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease in check with Rinvoq, a once daily pill, and it works differently.
I got rapid relief at 2 weeks with Rinvoq. Check.
It helped visibly repair my intestinal lining. Check.
And I got lasting steroid-free remission. Check.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin. Serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50+ with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Put UC and Crohn's in check and keep them there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist about Rinvoq.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, Jess from Planetary Design will pour 60 cups of coffee for 60 adventurers.
Shoot, lost count.
Shop small business on Amazon. To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, John from Bluecorn Beeswax will light 60 candles for Marv and Ethel's 60th wedding anniversary.
Marv? Ethel?
Shop small business on Amazon.
As the tax slayer calculator, I love numbers. So many. $0, the price when you file with Simply Free. Your maximum refund. That's a beauty. Also, my number one. File for free with Tax Slayer Simply Free. Eligibility requirements apply. Tax Slayer. File fearlessly.
Their friends and neighbors, sons, fathers, their little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live, and that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now, I have Skyrizi.
And now, I'm back in the picture. Skyrizi is the only IL-23 inhibitor proven to help achieve remission, meaning few to no symptoms in just 4 weeks for some people. Many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 4 years. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help visibly repair damage of the intestinal lining.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's.
Now's the time to take control of your Crohn's. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot.
Sleep Number does that.
Can I make my side softer?
I make my side firmer.
Sleep Number does that. Your ideal firmness and effortless comfort all night.
Can I help us sleep better and better?
Please.
Sleep Number does that.
And now our best deals are on. Take 50% off our limited edition mattress, plus free premium delivery with any bed and base. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you.
The NHL's best are back from Milan, and their focus shifts towards the rush to the playoffs.
Toronto, we got all the skill in the world.
Here comes Matthews.
Vegas, they're a great team.
Eichel scores! Maple Leafs Lightning, Golden Knights Kings, February 25th at 7 on TNT.
All right, we're learning more this hour about a really strange and alarming story, and this is what prompted the FAA to suddenly close all of that airspace over El Paso, Texas. Multiple sources telling CNN this shutdown was prompted by a Pentagon plan to use a high-energy counter-drone laser without coordinating with the FAA about the potential risks to civilian flights. The Trump administration earlier claimed the sudden closure was due to a Mexican cartel drone crossing into U.S. airspace. And we should tell you that flights have since resumed, so that is important to note. We're joined now by CNN military analyst, retired Air Force Colonel Cedric Layton. Okay, counter-drone laser, what is this thing?
So one of the things, Brianna, is that that is most likely similar to the device that that they're talking about here is a device like this. It is a counter-drone laser that it could be mounted on a truck. There are other devices where they have microwave capabilities and also drone interceptor capabilities that could actually be used to go after individual drones. So the lasers would catch them in flight. Same with the microwave type devices.
but these devices are ones that could potentially either intercept or eliminate a drone.
Like it fries it? I mean, what does it do here?
It could potentially fry at least the communications aspect of it. It would make it impossible for it to be steered, and it would be one of those devices that actually would be able to make it useless.
Okay, and so what's the risk to civilians?
So, well, let's take a look at when you look at how this whole thing worked. This is the actual alert that they had. So the U.S. government was actually authorized to use deadly force against any aircraft that came into this area right here. This is basically the no-fly zone, which includes southeastern New Mexico, El Paso itself, part of Mexico. So all of this right here would have put civilian air traffic at potential risk, partially because of the use of deadly force being authorized in case somebody transited this area without authorization.
You were explaining to me that cross-border drone activity is actually not unusual, but this Mexican cartel drone activity that an administration official is telling CNN that had breached U.S. airspace. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so one of the things that they do, so what we have to keep in mind when it comes to the cartels, they are very active. All of these are cartel routes right here, and the state of Chihuahua, which is this part right here of Mexico, is right by, guess what, El Paso. And this is a major drug transshipment route into the United States. So this is where the cartels actually do things. And what they've been doing, especially the Sinaloa and Jalisco Nueva Generacion cartels, they've actually been testing drones, first-person view drones, ones that we see in other places of the world, like the Ukraine war. Those are the kinds of drones that they actually are using, and they're making these drones available to themselves, not only for surveillance purposes, but also potentially as kamikaze drones that would be used to attack a particular target. So they could be used as a weapon against U.S. forces or anybody else that they're interested in going after.
Okay, so it makes sense that the U.S. would have an interest in disabling these, but talk to us a little bit about the how this was done, because this is pretty wild that it forced the FAA to close airspace. And I do want to note, this is, I think, really interesting for our viewers, that your first military exercise was actually at Biggs Army Airfield, which is right next to El Paso's airport. I mean, it's right there.
That's right.
So just talk to us a little bit about how normally they manage kind of this interference.
So normally what happens is there's a lot of airspace deconfliction that happens. And when you have an airspace like El Paso, where you have the international airport here, and not far away is a military airfield. In this case, Biggs Army Airfield, yet where my very first military exercise was basically a camping experiment in every single kind of weather in March. That was done right here. And it can take all kinds of aircraft because it's a long runway. It takes these kinds of cargo planes that you see. It has drones associated with it. Drone testing equipment is there. Helicopters. All kinds of things are coming in and out of Biggs Army Airfield. So Biggs Army Airfield is basically a center for this kind of study. And it's also a center for defending U.S. military assets because they're right next to those Mexican cartels, as we see on this map right here.
Okay, but be honest, did someone screw this up, that there wasn't coordination?
Yeah, I think so, because what you're talking about here is, there's so many different airspace efforts that go on in a place like this, and it's really incumbent upon the Department of Defense to coordinate with the FAA every time that there's any kind of activity, whether they're testing stuff or whether they see an actual incursion that could be threatening U.S. forces. And in this particular case, they may have seen something. We don't know the exact details, but what we do know is that they shut things down. That costs the airlines a heck of a lot of money.
Yeah, I've just never seen anything like this. It's really, really something. Cedric, thanks for taking us through that. We'll be right back.
This is something no one would have expected even a few months ago.
There's new drama here on Capitol Hill tonight.
You know, I think a lot of women right now ask that question.
I never thought I would develop shingles. I was wrong. I didn't know that 99% of people over 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate.
Don't learn the hard way like I did. Talk to your healthcare provider today.
3 meetings and 3 stops today. There's just never enough time.
If you've ever considered flying private jets, you have to check out One Flight's badge. The badge makes searching and booking private jets as simple as booking a hotel. Just type in your location and find the closest airport. Then choose from over 4,000 jets in one place. When I land, there's always a car waiting for me, courtesy of One Flight. What's your time worth?
Call for a complimentary flight.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
Science didn't stop at diet and exercise. Why would you? Human science-backed supplements deliver effective blood pressure support and daily energy through better blood flow support. Because cardiovascular health is everything health. Only human.
Ponvory is approved for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis in adults. Ponvory lowers the number of white blood cells, lymphocytes, in your blood. Usually, this will return to normal within 1 to 2 weeks of stopping treatment. Ponvory can increase your risk of serious infections that can be life-threatening and may cause death. Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina, stroke, or other severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
During my recovery, the only thing I could think about was getting back to playing. Boost gave me the fuel to get back on the stage. The music is life. A real comeback deserves a real boost.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body LLC?
We actually sold the twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
You need a tan? I'm your man.
Do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
You've put up with your old shower for too long. It's outdated, unsafe, and it's time to replace it. But why struggle with a lengthy shower remodel when Jacuzzi can do it in just one day? And there's no need to break a sweat or your budget.
For a limited time, get free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
So you can finally convert your old bath to a safer, easy entry shower, complete with a custom seat, grab bars, and slip-resistant floor installed in 1 day.
Free. My overall experience with Jacuzzi has been wonderful. Everything was customized the way I wanted it for the price that I wanted to pay.
I've had a great experience from start to finish.
Don't take matters into your own hands. Do it the smart way. Give Jacuzzi Bath Remodel a call.
Call or go online now to jacuzzibathremodel.com. For the first time ever, we're offering free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-261-6954. Closed captioning brought to you by mesobook.com.
If you or a loved one have mesothelioma, we'll send you a free book to answer questions you may have. Call now and we'll come to you.
800-821-4000.
I want to take you straight to Capitol Hill now, where Attorney General Pam Bondi is being grilled by members of the House Judiciary Committee.
First time. You talked about Penn. That happened with this Justice Department.
We're talking about this committee.
Mr. Chairman, had you answered the question, had the Attorney General answered the question in that way, perhaps this hearing would have some modicum of resembling something that has typically been fairly conventional, an oversight hearing of the Department of Justice.
The gentleman's
That is
time
not
has expired. The gentlelady from Wyoming is recognized for 5 minutes.
Attorney General Bondi, I want to express my gratitude to the President, you and your team for your continued efforts against extreme anti-energy policies taken by states and cities that serve only to increase costs on the American people. This is an issue of great concern for Congress as well as the consumers. At the behest of networks of non-governmental organizations and anti-growth activists, Democratic-controlled states and cities are enacting laws and pursuing coordinated lawsuits that would impose retroactive liability on energy producers for past global emissions based on speculative future climate change harms. The proponents of these plans call them climate superfund laws, but in reality, that is simply window dressing for taxes and fees imposed on consumers and businesses that don't even have a presence in these states or communities. But if you look at the billions of dollars they hope to gain from these efforts, the real goal here is to increase their already mismanaged state budgets by imposing fees on consumers and businesses in energy-producing states such as the state of Wyoming. I would describe this as the tobacco litigation on steroids. Vermont has enacted such a law, and another has recently gone into effect in New York. Similar laws are under consideration in a number of other states. Clearly, this problem is spreading. Would you agree that Congress has not authorized states to impose retroactive liability against energy producers and lawful carbon emissions?
Yes.
And would you also agree that protecting consumers is a core part of the DOJ's mission?
Absolutely.
Would you further agree that combating state policies that seek to hide and shift the true cost of programs like these onto consumers fits within your mission?
Yes.
So, Attorney General Bondi, fossil fuels are the foundation of the U.S. economy, and the recent winter storms underscored that gas, coal, and oil remain essential to grid reliability and heating our homes. Can you confirm that the DOJ is fully committed to using all available legal tools to stop these state and local level attacks on domestic energy production?
Congresswoman, we are committed to that, and so is the entire administration. We talk about that a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The President's April 2025 executive order directed the DOJ to identify and act against state laws that burden U.S. energy production. What concrete actions has the DOJ and the administration more broadly taken to carry out this directive?
Well, we filed 4 lawsuits. We're filing multiple lawsuits. Many things are pending within this office to carry that out.
Okay. States continue to invent new causes of action to pursue state climate lawfare, as is evidenced by Michigan's recent novel claim related to antitrust violations. The city of Boulder, Colorado has also filed such a lawsuit, despite refusing my challenge that they actually forego the use of fossil fuels if they disagree with them so much. Does the Department of Justice agree that these novel approaches require a federal response, and will the department pursue such an approach?
Yes, Congresswoman, and we'd be happy to talk to you more about that.
Wonderful,
Yes.
Thank you. Multiple climate lawsuits are now advancing toward trial, even in states that rely on those energy forms to provide heat and electricity for their citizens. In fact, in any community, that they all rely upon fossil fuels in some fashion. Is the department actively considering intervention to protect federal supremacy over interstate emissions and energy policy?
Yes, we'd be happy to discuss that with you.
Thank you. And clearly this is an area in which Congress has a role to play. To that end, I'm working with my colleagues in both the House and Senate to craft legislation tackling both these state laws and the lawsuits that could destroy energy affordability for consumers. To that end, are there any authorities or tools that DOJ and the administration don't currently have at their disposal that would be helpful in that effort that Congress could adopt?
Well, we work with multiple agencies throughout the administration, but I'd be happy to talk to you about that more.
Wonderful,
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate your effort in this regard.
And may I have 20 seconds of your time before to address something?
Yes.
Thank you. Your colleague, Senator Neguse, didn't want to talk about crypto because he said I was a disgrace talking about crypto because he didn't want to talk about the tremendous crime in his jurisdiction. He voted no on preventing violence against women by illegal aliens. Yet, on June 1st, 2025, Mohammed Solomon attacked members of the group Run for Their Lives in Boulder, Colorado, where an 82-year-old woman sustained burns on over half of her body and eventually died from her injuries.
I believe that she was a Holocaust survivor.
She was.
The time the gentlelady has expired, the gentlelady yields back, and the gentlelady from George is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Bondi, as the Florida Attorney General, attorneys from your office handled the appeal of my son, Jordan Davis's murder, which was denied. As a result of the efforts of those attorneys under your watch, the court actually upheld the life sentence for a man who used prejudice as his defense for murdering my son and scarring his friends for life. Attorneys from your office, under your management, worked hard to remove a dangerous man from the community who terrorized innocent people like my son and his friends. The compassion and respect that my family received throughout that ordeal were critical in helping us keep faith in the rule of law and justice. Based on my experiences, I have seen how strong victim services, sustained investigations, and well-supported prosecutors can make a meaningful difference in the lives of families who are grieving and suffering. Ms. Bondi, just yes or no, would you agree that government officials should be respectful and supportive of victims' families as they mourn?
First, Congresswoman, thank you for talking about that, and I'm so very sorry for what happened to your family.
Thank you.
And yes, I agree with that with all victims, including the ones sitting behind us today. I absolutely do. And
Okay.
also, thank you for voting yes on the Lake and Riley Act.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so your answer is why the recent treatment of families in Minnesota raises really serious concerns for me. Because shortly after Mr. Alex Preddy was murdered, administration officials referred to him as an assassin and called Mr. Preddy the definition of domestic terrorism. They also lied about Mr. Preddy holding a gun and threatening officers. After Ms. Renee Good was murdered by ICE officials in Minneapolis, administration officials also accused her of being a domestic terrorist and investigated her wife in a clear act of retaliation. The statement Mr. Preddy's mother made after the murder resonated with me more than you'll ever imagine. She said that, and I'm quoting, "The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting," end quote. And I assure you, I know how it feels to hear lies that are told to justify the taking of someone's son. They were used by my son's murderer as a defense, and those lies still affect me today. He was called a thug, and he was called a gangbanger. And the attorneys from your office actually defended my son's name, his memory, and defended his honor. I'm certain that Mr. Preddy's mother watched videos of her son, Alex, an ICU nurse at the VA hospital, using his phone to record federal agents. She also watched him getting pepper sprayed, kicked, hit in the head, and surrounded by at least 7 agents before having his gun removed from his waistband, which he legally carried. And she watched seconds later as 2 of those agents shot her son Alex at least 10 times. The administration was quick to spew an incorrect narrative and call him so many things that they wanted us to ignore the truth that we actually saw with our own eyes. Ms. Bondi, will you denounce the statements that were made to tarnish the names of Alex Preddy and Renee Good, and will you protect their names like those attorneys back in Florida under your watch protected my son's name?
Is they cool?
What I will say is we are looking at everything to shed light on what happened that day, and it is an ongoing and active investigation. Both of those cases, and I assure you they will be investigated.
Investigating, we understand that, but will you do everything in your power, as you have done for my case, as you are asked to do, as you've sworn an oath to do? It is your responsibility to make sure that you are following the rule of law. Those families in Minnesota, they deserve the same respect. They deserve a full investigation, which you have not even begun to do yet. So what are you saying, is that they don't deserve any respect for a full investigation into their murders? Well, that is incompetence on your behalf. Well, that is American people do deserve better. Non-commitment to defending the rule of law is what we see from you.
I will always stand up for survivors, and I heard you say earlier when you told us that you will fight for them as well. And based on the information before us, these families have not received the same commitment to investigate what happened to their loved ones, nor have they received the respect that I would expect from the nation's top law enforcement officer. Investigations have been slow-walked, they've been canceled, and the special agent assigned to Renee Good's investigation resigned following pressure from your officials to reclassify Ms. Good's case.
Time of the
For families seeking answers and accountability, the withdrawal of investigative resources is simply unacceptable.
Has expired. The gentlelady yields back. The gentleman from California is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Attorney General, I get the sense that we could have
unique and
lost a little
extraordinary
perspective
moment in this testimony because you had Lucy McBath of Florida actually complimenting Pam Bondi for her work when she was Attorney General of Florida, for how her office handled the prosecution of her of the man who murdered her son Jordan Davis back in 2014. And then sort of using that as an example, and for what she suffered doing that. She said that her son was called a thug. She said the lies about him still affect her today. She used that to question Pam Bondi about what's been happening in Minnesota.
Yeah, explaining that the families of Alex Preddy and Renee Good have endured enormous stress, not only because of the incidents that took their lives, but also because of the way that the administration has been describing Renee Good and Alex Preddy. And she specifically cited efforts to investigate the wife of Good and the labeling of Alex Preddy as a domestic terrorist. She asked the Attorney General if she would denounce those claims. The Attorney General shying away from doing that, essentially saying that there is an open investigation that is ongoing. The Congresswoman from Georgia there saying that that investigation, she believes, is not yet begun in earnest. We're going to take a quick break and continue monitoring this oversight hearing of DOJ on Capitol Hill. We'll bring you the latest as we get it. Stay with CNN.
Have I Got News for You? New episodes Saturday at 9 on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor tracks your glucose in real time. And over time, it can help lower your A1C. This is progress. Learn more and try for free at freestylelibre.us.
I should've went for 2. That's gonna cost me like that. That not going for 2 right there gonna
when
cost
it fits you.
Don't cost me.
When it thrills you.
No, it's gonna cost me.
When it connects and protects.
That shit gonna cost me.
This is 140 years of Mercedes-Benz innovation. It's more than a feeling. It's a bond. Experience everything a Mercedes-Benz SUV has to offer today.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
Coming to the stage this Friday, it's Ned's first team karaoke night. But he's wondering,
what if my flaky red plaque psoriasis takes center stage?
Next up, we have Ned.
What if Ned knew he could treat differently?
Otezla is a pill that treats plaque psoriasis even in hard-to-treat areas. You can get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for over 10 years. Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts.
With Otezla, clear skin could be your jam. Live in the moment. Struggling on topicals? Ask your doctor about Otezla.
Need hair growth? Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator promotes thicker, fuller, healthier hair in just 3 weeks. Hair Growth Accelerator is drug-free and contains a clinically studied key ingredient that quickly accelerates hair growth. Find Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator at Walmart today.
You got this. 1, remember, I don't want surgery for my Dupuytren's contraction.
2, I want to be able to lay my hand flat.
3, I want a non-surgical recovery.
4, I want options. Non-surgical options.
And 5,
And if non-surgical treatment isn't offered?
I'll get a second opinion. Let's go.
Take charge of your treatment. If you can't lay your hand flat, visit findahandspecialist.com to get started.
I thought people exaggerated about the pain from shingles.
I was wrong. I learned that the hard way.
But you don't have to. Talk to your healthcare provider today.
Hi, Grandma. I played baseball today.
Oh, that's great.
What position did you play?
First base.
That's what Grandpa used to play. When our hearing wouldn't allow us to use a regular phone, it made us feel isolated.
It became difficult to communicate with our friends and family.
Clear Captions was an easy solution for us.
Clear Captions provides captions on a phone like captioning on your TV, so you can see what the caller is saying live as they say it.
Making it easy to understand and respond immediately.
There is no insurance or Medicare required. Clear Captions service is provided at no cost to you through a federally funded program. We deliver, install, and train you on how to use your phone, all at no cost to you.
Give your loved ones the independence and connection they deserve.
Call now to see if you qualify to get a Clear Captions phone at no cost to you.
Call 1-800-269-9522. That's 1-800-269-9522.
Go real quick to give him enough time to go again.
As competitors, it brings out the best in all of us.
You gotta be able to score. You have to sit down and guard.
You have to dig deep on this one.
1v1 is the best of the best.
Unrivaled one-on-one tournament presented by Sprite. Coverage
Gotta
begins
throw that
tonight.
outside shoulder.
Let's go right back to Capitol Hill, where Attorney General Pam Bondi is being grilled by members of the House Judiciary Committee. A contentious hearing so far. Let's listen.
Tried to investigate ICE officer in shooting resigns.
Without objection.
Thank you.
The chair now recognizes the gentlelady from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General Bondi, I think you and pretty much everybody else here and throughout the country believes that convicted sex offenders don't deserve special treatment or privileges in prison.
I just got my ass
And yet,
handed to
Ghislaine
me.
Maxwell, Jeffrey
But a
Epstein's
nigga not like that,
co-conspirator,
though.
received
How many
perk
points he got?
after
34?
perk
Can we leave him
in
at 34?
In July, she had a 2-day interview with your deputy and President Trump's former
We're
defense
gonna try
attorney,
one more time.
Todd
He
Blanche.
fucked me up this time.
Just days after that,
Let him
Maxwell
quit,
was
but I
transferred
still
from a
believe.
federal
You gotta
correctional
believe.
institution
You
in
believe.
Florida to a
You will
minimum
never
security camp in Texas,
His
which
bucko will
she,
really
as a
not
sex
like that.
offender, would normally
You can
be
tell when a motherfucker
ineligible for.
like that. You can tell
At
when
this
he
new
like.
facility, as the ranking
Just-
member
just a lucky
talked
day.
about,
Have a nice
and by
team.
the way, it's nicknamed Club Fed. We've heard reports that she's been afforded special privileges, puppy time, private workouts, personal mail, secretarial services. Attorney General Bondi, does a convicted sex offender like Ghislaine Maxwell deserve special treatment and privileges in prison? Yes or no?
Let me be crystal clear on this. No. And let me
Thank you.
let me keep going. No, let me keep going.
Perfect. Well, I
did not know she was being
You don't need to keep
transferred,
going.
and
I asked you yes or
she
no,
was
and
not
I'm
transferred to a lower
Mr. Chairman,
level.
please stop the clock and remind the witness of the rules. One rule
And,
she needs to
I'm
understand here.
glad that we're agreeing. So when we're agreeing, we can move on to some other things. But I
we're not
want you to know
You ain't gotta
that
keep
every
talking,
time she
motherfucker.
does
It's a
get
yes, no
these
question,
perks, and it's been publicly reported, that the folks she's abused, the survivors who are sitting here, they see themselves as being denied justice. They feel re-traumatized. And I'm glad that we agree on that. But she should not be in that prison. And she needs to be moved back to a maximum security prison as soon as possible. But what she has told another committee here is that she won't cooperate with them unless she gets clemency from Donald Trump. It's just crazy to consider that she can be wielding this kind of influence within the administration. But that begs the question, who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please, can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same level facility, I don't know why, but You know, instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple of
died on the subway.
Right, and I absolutely...
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So, of course, we're moving back to you. It is all about you. So, as we've heard, she took the fifth in response to every single question in that committee hearing. And her lawyer dangled the offer of clemency. Should Donald Trump pardon or commute her sentence? Should she be released from prison, yes or no?
We're not done.
You said you hope she dies there, so I'm hoping the answer is no.
Down 7-35.
Answered that question.
Good. I'm very glad. I really like this bipartisan agreement about
when
what
it
should
agrees
happen.
with you, but you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You don't want to talk about
I talk about her
murdered
all
by
the
a violent crime
but
offender.
I am not here to
You're
testify. You are. That is your job to do. That's
Y'all.
what you're getting.
One for two now for the rest of the game, chat.
So
Locked in.
I want you to know that your own DOJ employee, he's recently been demoted and had some other problems, advises on pardons. Do you think he will be advising Mr. Trump on any kind of clemency or pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm not going to speculate, and you couldn't even identify properly. That's why you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You couldn't properly identify her relative.
I absolutely
It's embarrassing.
have been, and her family, by the way, appreciates all of the condolences, all of the help, everything that our law enforcement in North Carolina has been doing to help her family. Her family feels well treated. Thank you, and I yield back.
Ms. Lady yields back. Gentleman from California is recognized.
I'd ask unanimous consent to enter into the record an article by former Attorney General William P. Barr entitled, "Why Pam Bondi Didn't Publish All the Epstein Files in 30 Days." The answer is simple. It was not possible, from the Wall Street Journal.
Well said. Without objection, the gentlelady from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam,
I'm sorry. May I respond 20 seconds to something that Congresswoman Ross said?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. She also opposed a sex offender registry as head of North Carolina ACLU. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Attorney General. And I'd like to pick up where you left off a moment ago, because we convene here today as a committee for the stated purpose of conducting oversight of the Department of Justice. And so it's critical for us to focus first on the mission of the department and assess your success in discharging it. So the mission of the department is to enforce federal law, defend the rule of law, and protect the American people from violent crime, terrorism, drug trafficking, fraud, and exploitation, to promote public safety. And what we have heard today unequivocally is that President Trump's Department of Justice, under your leadership, Attorney General Bondi, is doing exactly that. Just a moment ago, you shared with us some incredible statistics that the United States, under your leadership, has achieved the lowest murder rate in 125 years. That in the first year of this administration, murder is down 21%, robbery is down 23%, carjacking down 43%, and gun assault down 22%. That is what public safety looks like. Under your leadership and that of President Trump, you've located more than 6,000 child victims of trafficking and exploitation, arrested 1,700 child predators, and apprehended more than 300 human traffickers. Significant increases, and those aren't just statistics, those are precious lives that your department and the men and women of federal law enforcement have saved. Madam Attorney General, you've mentioned a couple of specific criminal trends during this hearing that I'd like to discuss with you further, because one of our important roles in Congress is making sure that our laws and our law enforcement stay ahead of predators as technology evolves. I lead legislation in the House, along with bipartisan co-sponsors on this committee, to make sextortion a clearly defined criminal offense. We actually passed that out of the House of Representatives. We have a bill to promote Operation Renewed Hope, to help rescue more child victims, and the Defiance Act to provide legal recourse to victims of deepfake AI intimate images. I would love to hear your perspective and what you are seeing related to these technology-based criminal trends, sextortion, and AI deepfakes. What are you seeing at the Department of Justice, and why do you believe that efforts to combat these types of crimes are important?
Sextortion, and thank you for supporting that, Congresswoman. I think that was a bipartisan effort, actually. I think many of you on both sides of the aisle supported that. Thank you for that. You know, as a career prosecutor, it's horrible seeing that and seeing that young women and often young boys have been exploited with sextortion. And I see, thank you, both sides of the aisle nodding on that. It's horrific. The suicide rates go up. And that's why we have to do everything in our power to protect not only young girls, adult women, boys and men from sextortion, because it is happening and we're doing everything in our power, thanks to your legislation, all of you, to stop that.
I'd like to hear a little bit more about some of the Department of Justice programs like Project Safe Childhood and the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Forces, partnerships that bring together federal, state, and local law enforcement. Sometimes the work between those law enforcement groups together really creates some incredibly powerful outcomes and some great success stories. I know you, as Florida's Attorney General, had a tremendous amount of leadership in our state trying to make sure we were taking care of children, also the elderly, protecting them from fraud, ending drug trafficking. Tell us a little bit about some of those departments within DOJ.
Yeah, when you talked about Project Safe Neighborhoods, we'd done a lot of that in Florida when I was state AG, and actually back when I was a state prosecutor prior to being Attorney General. That is so important. I feel like what we've been doing in D.C. too, with the Take Back D.C. and Make D.C. Safe Again, is similar to that. Going into the neighborhoods, working with the community, seeing law enforcement officers out there playing basketball with kids who live in the neighborhood. It's pretty remarkable what we've seen firsthand. Citizens in Memphis saying that they appreciate, they can walk outdoors now and they feel safe. People coming up thanking law enforcement and working hand in hand with them. We will continue all of these programs and working jointly with both sides of the aisle to keep our families safe.
Thank you for that, Madam Attorney General. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. Gentleman from Tennessee is recognized.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce for the record a letter to Director Gabbard from Mr. Warner and Mr. Himes, and a letter of response from her to them about who invited her to Atlanta, and a copy of the search warrant. And I'd also like to just make clear for the record, the reason people in Memphis weren't going out was because the ice was on the ground and we were afraid we'd fall. But other than that, we go out all the time.
Gentlemen, without objection, there's unanimous consent. The gentlelady from Vermont is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney General Bondi, according to your department, a child is sexually abused in the United States every 9 minutes, and the vast majority of survivors never get justice. And that's one of the reasons why I think the Epstein case has resonated so deeply with so many Americans. And the other reason, I think, is because it has revealed a two-tiered system of justice. And the powerful are protected, and the survivors rarely get any accountability. And the Epstein files contain evidence of a multi-decade international criminal conspiracy involving some of the wealthiest and the most powerful people in the world. There's evidence of financial crimes, political corruption, sex trafficking, and of course, horrible sexual abuse. And I want to remind everybody, this isn't a game.
All right, we're watching this hearing on Capitol Hill where lawmakers have been pressing Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, on Ghislaine Maxwell's transfer to a lower security prison known for being kind of cushy and the privileges that she's gotten since being there. Pam Bondi saying they'd need to ask the Bureau of Prisons, noting She is actually in charge of the Bureau of Prisons.
Yeah, she pushed away any responsibility for that transfer, saying that she knew nothing about it, this despite it happening months ago, and seemingly not having the impetus to go and find out more about why that transfer happened. She says she doesn't know. We're going to take a quick break. We have more news after a few minutes. Stay with us.
What's happening?
We're ordering up jokes for the show.
Ooh, I want to try. Oh, that's just
Bruh.
sick. Oh.
Not too sick for me.
Have I got news for you? Saturday at 9 on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
At Amazon, hourly employees earn an average of over $23 an hour.
All right, what are we thinking?
Mega count.
Now if you got to me 9 seconds to do it, not 8.
Oh. Guess this is mine now.
Hey.
At Amazon, skills training and apprenticeships can move hourly employees into higher paying roles, like robotics. And that's a win you can count on.
You're on.
Come on.
At Consumer Cellular, we only hire real humans right here in America.
I'm in America.
But can you help people find a wireless plan that's exactly right for them?
That's human work, at least at Consumer Cellular.
That's why we're ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
I wish I was human.
Hey, don't worry.
Yeah, we don't know how to go beep, bop, boop.
Beep, bop, boop.
See, look at you.
Yay!
Get the carrier ranked #1 in customer satisfaction and your second month free. Call Consumer Cellular.
Dad, are we really gonna miss the game?
I think we're stuck here.
Hey, you guys doing okay?
Dad, it's John Elway.
Our plane's having mechanical problems, and I think we're going to miss the big game.
Well, I'm going to badge it to the game. You're welcome to join me. With Badget, you're guaranteed a recovery plan. Search over 5,000 planes from 500 of the best companies. And you're ready to badge it to your destination.
That's really cool.
Do you always have a chauffeured vehicle waiting for you?
It's all complimentary on Badget. It's the one and only way to travel.
Thanks, John. You saved the day.
Thanks, buddy.
Call for a complimentary flight.
You gotta get your stuff, you gotta go. I thought it was just a fatty liver, but it's actually MASH. It's serious. It's scarring my liver, and it requires more than losing weight.
Resdifra is made for MASH, with moderate to advanced liver scarring without cirrhosis, along with diet and exercise. It has accelerated FDA approval. Studies are ongoing to confirm benefit. Only Resdifra works directly in the liver. It helps reduce MASH and liver scarring.
Before taking, tell your doctor about liver or gallbladder problems, or if you're pregnant, breastfeeding, or plan to be. Serious side effects include liver injury, gallstones, gallbladder, pancreas inflammation. Stop taking and call your doctor about tiredness, nausea, vomiting, fever, rash, yellowing of your skin or eyes, stomach pain. Tell your doctor if taking gemfibrozil, cyclosporin, clopidogrel, or statins. Side effects include diarrhea, itching, dizziness, constipation.
Resdifra made a difference for me.
Ask your liver specialist for Resdifra.
Car Breakdowns 101. I'm your Professor Ice-T. If your car is out of warranty, your car breakdown could eat you alive. Look at that car. The transmission alone could cost you $3,000. And that engine, how much do you love your kidneys? Don't even get me started on the computer system. That's a small fortune. Do what I did and call Car Shield. They get expensive car repairs taken care of so you don't have to. Class dismissed.
Wrong
Call
shit.
800-449-7133.
And there's no need to break a sweat or your budget.
For a limited time, get free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
So you can finally convert your old bath to a safer, easy entry shower, complete with a custom seat, grab bars, and slip-resistant floor installed in 1 day.
My overall experience with Jacuzzi has been wonderful. Everything was customized to the way I wanted it for the price that I wanted to pay.
I've had a great experience from start to finish.
Don't take matters into your own hands. Do it the smart way. Give Jacuzzi Bath Remodel a call.
Call or go online now to jacuzzibathremodel.com. For the first time ever, we're offering free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or
Bro,
call
how the fuck is he steady catching a ball right there, bro?
Closed captioning is brought to you by Sokolov Law.
Mesothelioma victims, call now. $30 billion in trust money has been set aside. You may be entitled to a portion of that money. Call 1-800-859-2400. That's 1-800-859-2400.
have been monitoring this hearing on Capitol Hill where Attorney General Pam Bondi is on the hot seat testifying before members of the House. Let's listen back in.
President Trump's first term, he rightly targeted sanctuary jurisdictions to try to force them to cooperate with federal immigration law. Federal immigration law, mind you, that was voted on in 1996 most recently in a bipartisan Congress, signed by a Democrat president. But they are in violation of that law. These states and jurisdictions feel entitled to certain grants, of course. Y'all are combating that. Do sanctuary policies limit the federal government's ability to accurately estimate how many criminal illegals are in the country?
Yes.
Thank you. This means that the number of illegals could be higher, probably higher. Does this hurt the federal government's ability to carry out immigration laws designed by Congress?
Yes, Congressman.
In your opinion, do you believe that the Biden-Harris administration and Democrat pro-sanctuary policies make our communities safer and for the American taxpayer? Do sanctuary policies make our communities safer?
No, Congressman.
I want to do a brief video to highlight where cities. So what's strange to me, if you look at this board behind me, in New York, there are 7,000 criminal illegal aliens since January 20th of last year that have been released into the public.
Why the fuck
New York
I
is not
can't bait
honoring
nobody
detainers. California similarly
supposed,
has released 4,500
five
criminal illegal
picks.
aliens.
Ain't
There are
nobody.
33,000 under detainer in California alone. And of the people released, I think it's remarkable that those released in New York, 29 homicides, 2,500 assaults, almost 200 burglaries. These are people that are released into our community by these states that refuse to cooperate. Last August, Michael Jordan Castellano Fonseca, a criminal illegal alien with ties to Tren de Agua, shot 2 people in front of 5 children in the sanctuary state of Colorado. DHS lodged a detainer on him. He's awaiting trial, but the question is whether Colorado's sanctuary policies will prevent him from being removed from the country.
Why the fuck is you?
Yes or no? Do you think that sanctuary jurisdictions, if they cooperated with ICE, those illegals in custody could be transferred to ICE properly instead of funded jails and then released into our community?
Yes, Congressman.
Wouldn't it be more efficient and safer then if Democrats simply cooperated with the sanctuary jurisdictions, cooperated with the federal government, and honored ICE detainers? And why? Why do you think?
Of course, because so many criminals are running to sanctuary jurisdictions. Many of your colleagues across the aisle who we've seen speaking today about Epstein don't want to talk about the illegal criminals in their own jurisdiction for that reason. And yes, we need to do everything we can to work together to make America safer, and they're not doing that.
This is not a partisan issue. People want to feel safe in their communities. Nobody wants a criminal illegal alien released into the street. I think the thing that maybe the American people don't quite understand is that when you do not honor a detainer, as we've seen, an illegal is released into the public, and now it's up to ICE to maybe apprehend them, rather than behind the courtroom passing them off from one law enforcement to the next. Is that true?
Absolutely.
What do you think what is the Department of Justice doing right now to combat sanctuary policies in our country?
We're doing everything in our power, obviously, to combat that. Donald Trump is doing everything he can because we are going to make America safe. We are going to get illegal criminal aliens out of this country. We're going to get the gangs out, TDA, MS-13, all of the gangs in this country. We're going to get the drug dealers out and the drugs, and that's what we've been fighting to do. And I wish we could do it on a bipartisan basis, but they just can't do it.
And the decrease in numbers speak for themselves. Thank you for your work.
Gentleman's time. Mr. Chairman, we have some UCs, if that's okay.
That is okay.
Mr. Cohen.
Thank you. You see on the National Institute of Justice's study on undocumented immigrants having an offender rate lower than U.S.-born citizens. I'd like to enter this in the record from 2024.
I have several myself, Mr. Chairman. The Guardian, January 26, 2026. Why is Trump granting clemency to convicted fraudsters?
Objection.
January 20, 2026, NBC. Trump's pardons forgive financial crimes that came with hundreds of millions of dollars in punishment.
Objection.
Washington Post, December 19, 2025. Trump's pardons wipe out payments to defrauded victims.
Without objection.
And finally, May 30th, 2024. Trump found guilty by Manhattan jury on 34 felony counts of fraud.
Objection. The gentleman from Illinois is recognized.
Thank you, Chairman. Attorney General Bondi, glad you finally made it here after hiding for 4 months from this committee. I understand why you're hiding from us.
Chairman?
You're one of the worst attorney generals in our history and an instrument of Donald Trump's lawless authoritarian agenda, and I'm glad the American people are seeing who you are, how you act, and the lack of good values. You weaponize the Department of Justice to target immigrants, working families, and anyone that Trump deems an enemy of the state, all to protect real powerful criminals, including in your administration. My Democratic colleagues have focused on your cover-up of the Epstein files and your passion for protecting pedophiles and child traffickers. That alone is grounds for impeachment. But there's so much more to your corrupt tenure as Attorney General. You directed prosecutors to investigate elected officials in welcoming jurisdictions, and you got thrown out of court when you sued Chicago, Cook County, and Illinois. You directed prosecutors to prioritize low-level immigration cases while gutting enforcement against corporate criminals and public corruption. You revived draconian
You're
law
talking
of
about public corruption,
1798,
Whoa.
which should be repealed to illegally send people to a torture prison in El Salvador. You fired over 100 immigration judges, including the assistant chief immigration judge in Chicago, without cause, and installed unqualified military judges whom you instructed to deny asylum in violation of the law. You prosecute the president's enemies like Jim Comey and Tish James while giving impunity to federal agents who are murdering and brutalizing and terrorizing constituents, including in Chicagoland, in my neighborhood. I saw it last year firsthand. You and Kash Patel covered up the murder of Silverio Villegas Gonzalez. In my ICE agents, you tried to investigate Renee Good instead of the ICE agent who murdered her, and you tried to cover up the murder of Alex Peretti by CBP agents. You bring fake charges against protesters like the Broadview Six and Marimar Martinez, whom your administration labeled a domestic terrorist. This is the Montessori teacher who lives in my district, while protecting thugs who terrorize us and DHS authority. That's what you do. Protect and enable the criminals who are plundering our society and destroying what's left of democracy and the rule of law. Epstein accomplices, mass DHS thugs, corporate criminals, Tom Homan, Eric Adams, insurrectionists, the list goes on. And you talk about fighting crime, but you protect any criminal who helps you and Trump turn our country into an authoritarian gangster state. And after all this, nobody supports you. I'm not talking about Democrats, I'm talking about conservative judges who are condemning the rampant lawlessness at DOJ under your leadership. Your prosecutors are quitting in droves over being forced cases, including in Chicagoland. Your MAGA base despises you because you're covering up the Epstein file. How ironic. And even your own boss has repeatedly complained to your staff about you, calling you weak and ineffective. Weak and ineffective. That's what Donald Trump thinks of you already. You will not win, however. Chicagoland rejects you. The American people reject you. Our communities have demonstrated our strength and resilience in the face of cruelty and cowardice. Democrats must impeach and remove lawless officials like you and Kristi Noem and impose equity for every criminal action. But you can spare yourself more humiliation. Resign now and submit yourself to accountability by the American people. Mr. Chairman, before I yield back, I ask you to submit for the record this Wall Street Journal article dated January 12, 2026, entitled, "Has Complained About Pam Bondi Repeatedly to Aides." Thank you, and I yield back.
Objection. Gentleman yields back. The gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Listening to Congressman Garcia of Illinois, lambast the Attorney General Pam Bondi, saying she has a lack of good values, saying that she's going after Trump's enemies to protect real criminals, saying she has a passion for protecting sex offenders, also pointing out that the president in a social media post a few months ago described her as weak and ineffective. Bondi is now using a Republican member of the committee's time to respond to Garcia. We'll, of course, monitor her remarks and bring you the latest as we get it. Plenty more news coming on CNN News Central in just moments. Don't go anywhere.
Have I got news for you? New episodes Saturday at 9 on CNN and next day on the CNN app.
To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, Jess from Planetary Design will pour 60 cups of coffee for 60 adventurers.
Shoot, lost count.
Shop small business on Amazon. To remind you that 60% of sales on Amazon come from independent sellers, John from Bluehorn Beeswax will light 60 candles for Marv and Ethel's 60th wedding anniversary.
Marv? Ethel?
Shop small business on Amazon.
Sir, it seems that the Gladiator is getting a lot of positive social sentiment.
Innovation changes everything. With one investment, you can access the NASDAQ 100 innovators who are rethinking the world. Before investing carefully, read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, expenses, and more in prospectus at Invesco.com.
We know why you've put off your best smile. The time, the cost, the anxiety. That's why Aspen Dental is changing how dentistry is done, with technology to make care comfortable and flexible hours to fit your life, all at an affordable price. New patients without insurance get an exam and x-rays for just $29. Not waiting for tomorrow. That's the Aspen Dental difference. Aspen Dental. It's time to smile again.
I thought people exaggerated when they said shingles is a nightmare and the pain can last for weeks.
It wouldn't mean sleepless nights, right?
I didn't think I was at risk.
I was wrong. I didn't know that 99% of people over 50 already have the virus that causes shingles, and it could reactivate at any time.
I learned that the hard way.
But you don't have to. Talk to your healthcare provider today.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis? With fewer symptoms from moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, where would you go? Imagine being a million miles away. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. And for adults with active psoriatic arthritis, Tremfya goes beyond the skin. Less joint pain, stiffness, and swelling is possible. And Tremfya even reduced fatigue. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Ask your doctor about Tremfya.
They're friends and neighbors, sons, fathers. They're little league coaches and veterans. They're people who love this country. These are Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers. They are removing violent criminals from our streets and neighborhoods. It's dangerous and difficult work. But ICE has one mission: to make America a safer place to live, and that's what they're doing. This is law enforcement. This is ICE.
Home. It's where we do the things we love with the people we love. So what if we live tomorrow in the same place? With help, we can. Home instead for a better what's next.
There have always been two kinds of people in the world. Those who worried about their investments
and those who chose some peace of mind. Smart investors hold gold.
Let's go! We go big! Big time jam! Everywhere we go, you know we go big! College basketball all season long on TNT, True TV, and stream on HBO Max. We go big!
Let's go straight to Capitol Hill. This Judiciary Committee hearing where the Attorney General Pam Bondi is being grilled by lawmakers. Let's listen in.
Answer on the other side. Yes, given the tight time frame of 30 days, I believe we got everything released within a little over 60 days. I'm talking as fast as I can. My time is up. We did the best we could immediately. If everyone's been coming to view the documents, if someone's name should redacted, we're releasing it. If someone's name was redacted, we said right away was not redacted and should have been, meaning a victim. We went back and redacted it. We're doing everything we can based on the tight time frame and over 3 million pages that we released that Donald Trump signed for pure transparency. Second, what was your second question?
About whether another individual will be indicted.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. And they never wanted to hear the answer to that. We have pending investigations.
Time of the gentleman has expired. Unanimous consent request from the gentleman from Pennsylvania.
Thank you. I have several UCs as receipts. I'd like to have unanimous consent to introduce the National Security Presidential Memorandum 7 dated September 25th, 25.
Without objection.
The Bondi Department of Justice memo dated December 4th, 2025.
Without objection.
An article from Newsweek entitled DOJ Deletes Study Alleging Rise in Far-Right Terrorism dated September 18th, 2025.
Without objection.
Notice article from October 3rd, 2025. Trump's directive on organized political violence could lead to increased surveillance of his critics.
Without objection.
Washington Post article, September 25th, 2025. Trump targets domestic terrorists, but only mentions the radical left.
Without objection.
Idaho Capital Sun, October 18th, 2025. Rest easy, Idahoans. The No King demonstrators are American patriots.
Without objection.
Attacks on freedom of speech, what nonprofits need to know, published by the National Council of Nonprofits, the largest network of nonprofits in America.
Without objection.
The Freedom from Religious Foundation warns that Bondi memo weaponizes federal law enforcement against non-Christians and dissenting viewpoints.
Without objection.
A Ken Klipperstein blog from January 28th, 26, ISIS secret watch lists of Americans.
Without objection.
And an Intercept article from February 2nd, 26, Trump calls his enemies terrorists. Does that mean he can kill them?
Without objection, the gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Attorney General Bondi.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you're right. It's good afternoon. It's been a long day. I wrote this morning. We've known each other a long time, and I'll always be appreciative for your assistance when you were Attorney General in Florida after the shooting at my high school, Marjory Stoneman Douglas, in my hometown of Parkland when we passed a bipartisan bill, the Marjory Stoneman Douglas School Safety Act, which was the largest policy response to a school shooting in American history. Your department also prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law a constituent of mine and former felon that had plans to kill me when he was picked up by law enforcement after he was target practicing in his backyard with 2 rifles, a scope, a silencer, 3,000 rounds of ammunition, an anti-Semitic manifesto. My name was the only name on their target list, and my kids found out about this from their friends at school. So thank you. However, the most transparent administration in American history. Before Trump, we didn't know the word transparency, apparently. It's been 12 months since you gave Republican influencers part 1 of the Epstein files. You said the list was on your desk, and a memo came out and said that there was no list. Phase 2 of the binders never happened. The President of the United States says the Epstein thing is a hoax. He blasts his own base for wanting the release of the files. He blamed Barack Obama. Republicans voted against the release of the files in the Rules Committee. Then they refused to even return to the Rules Committee until they could be protected from future votes on the release. Speaker Johnson sends Congress home a day early before break. They sent the Deputy Attorney General to meet with Maxwell. She says something favorable about the president. Miraculously, she gets transferred to a minimum security facility. No one can explain why. Miraculously, the leaks to the Wall Street Journal stop. We come back from break We have the Massey discharge petition. Republicans drop a rule, a non-binding resolution trying to kill the Massey discharge petition. The White House says passing the Massey discharge petition is a hostile act. Trying to stop the necessary 218 signatures, according to Republican members that signed it, the White House brought them into the Situation Room, you know, the place where the president goes for time of war, promising things like appropriations or maybe even to primary them. People in the room say you were there. It didn't work. We get the 218 signatures. We eventually passed the Massey petition. You guys didn't release the files. You were forced by Congress. Every member of the House except one and the entire Senate. The reason the president signed it is because it was a veto-proof majority. We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the files. Kash Patel under oath said to Senator Kennedy, the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. We know now that's not true. According to documents, Epstein had a worldwide sex trafficking ring. Girls from Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Paris, modeling agencies sending him girls. He even had a relationship with a summer camp where he groomed girls at a picnic table. Ghislaine Maxwell says 29 Epstein associates cut secret DOJ deals. Turns out there is a list. 6 names readily available if you unredact them. Co-conspirators named, but we got them when you unredact them. Maxwell recently tells a House Oversight Committee that she wants clemency to release more names. Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true.
We're listening to this testimony of Pam Bondi before House members, and I would like to direct you to what our Kara Scannell is noting on the left side, because that is actually what House members should be following up with questions about. She said, we have pending investigations in our office pertaining to the Epstein files. That contradicts what her deputy Todd Blanche told our Dana Bash here recently, that there are going to be no more investigations expected. So we're going to monitor this. We'll get in a quick break. We'll see if any members ask the Attorney General to clarify that. That would be huge news if that's the case. We'll be right back.
Tonight on 360. The stories that matter. Anderson Cooper 360. Tonight at 8 on CNN.
Asthma. Does it have you missing out on what you love? Get back to better breathing with Fasenra, an add-on treatment for eosinophilic asthma. Fasenra is not for sudden breathing problems. Serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis, may occur. Get help right away for swelling of your face, mouth, tongue, or trouble breathing. Don't stop asthma treatments, including oral steroids, without talking with your doctor. Tell your doctor if your asthma worsens or you have a parasitic infection. Headache and sore throat may occur. Ask your doctor if Fasenra is right for you.
And Doug.
There it is, Limu, the 50-yard line. Soon we'll be telling the whole stadium how Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance. To save people hundreds! Whoa! Ah! Looks like we're walking. Good about halftime. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
There's a lot to consider when finding the best CLL treatment for you. Brukinsa brings clarity to your path ahead. Brukinsa is an oral targeted treatment for CLL. It's the only BTKI proven superior to both another BTKI and to chemotherapy. Side effects were manageable, with most people staying on treatment. And Brukinsa had low rates of cardiovascular events, including AFib. Brukinsa can cause serious side effects which may lead to death. Bleeding problems are common and may increase with blood thinners. Serious infections may occur and cause fevers, chills, or flu-like symptoms. Decreased blood counts, new cancers such as skin cancer, and liver problems may occur. Heart rhythm problems such as fast, irregular heartbeat, lightheadedness, fainting, shortness of breath, or chest discomfort may occur. Tell your doctor if you have bleeding, infections, heart problems, or any other side effect, or if you are or plan to be pregnant or breastfeeding. See your future clearly again. Ask your doctor if you might do better with Brukinsa.
United Healthcare knows you've got your whole life ahead of you. Whatever comes next, you can count on United Healthcare to be there with reliable Medicare coverage.
Reminder, bent finger appointment.
I don't want to wait or have surgery for my Dupuytren's contraction. I want a non-surgical treatment.
And if non-surgical treatment isn't offered,
I'll get a second opinion.
Take charge of your treatment. If you can't lay your hand flat, visit findahandspecialist.com to get started.
Well, look at you powering through. You're not slowing down, you're raising eyebrows. Oh, and speed limits, you're way past those. Because you're playing for keeps. In other words, you're in your prime. So keep it that way with Ensure. 30 grams of protein to support your muscles and your mindset. Ensure yourself.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
You've put up with your old shower for too long. It's outdated, unsafe, and it's time to replace it. But why struggle with a lengthy shower remodel when Jacuzzi can do it in just one day? And there's no need to break a sweat or your budget.
For a limited time, get free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
So you can finally convert your old bath to a safer, easy entry shower, complete with a custom seat, grab bars, and slip-resistant floor installed in 1 day.
My overall experience with Jacuzzi has been wonderful. Everything was customized to the way I wanted it for the price that I wanted to pay.
I've had a great experience from start to finish.
Don't take matters into your own hands. Do it the smart way. Give Jacuzzi Bath Remodel a call.
Call or go online now to jacuzzibathremodel.com. For the first time ever, we're offering free fixtures and a free shower door, plus 0 interest and 0 payments for up to 1 year.
Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-261-6954.
Are y'all ready for some one-on-one basketball?
As competitors, it brings out the best in all of us.
You gotta be able to score.
That's strong.
You have to sit down and guard.
You have to dig deep on this one.
1v1 is the best of the best.
Unrivaled one-on-one tournament presented by Sprite. Coverage begins tonight.
Let's go back to Capitol Hill and Attorney General Pam Bondi testifying before the House Judiciary Committee. Just for some context, we had a very important moment just seconds ago in which Attorney General Bondi seemed to contradict her deputy Todd Blanche, who on CNN a few weeks ago said that there were no further prosecutions coming as a result of the content of the Epstein files. He essentially said that 3 million plus documents was not going to lead DOJ to further investigations. Bondi moments ago saying there are pending investigations still remaining in the Epstein case. To this point, lawmakers have not followed up with her on that. We'll see if they do. Let's listen in.
Something I love. You tolerate fools gladly, so I appreciate that trait. You suffer fools gladly. In hearings like this, we often focus on new initiatives undertaken by the department. Today, I'd like to give you an opportunity to discuss actions implemented under the Biden administration's Department of Justice, such as the Foreign Influence Task Force that you have since terminated. And, it's always rare to see anything in the government terminated. But could you elaborate on those decisions and highlight the accomplishments of your tenure at Justice?
Thank you for asking that. We are out of time, but may I answer, Chairman?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. The Biden administration weaponized the Foreign Corruption Practices Act, and on February 10th, President Trump issued an executive order pausing that for a DOJ review. Under Deputy Attorney General Blanche's supervision, a comprehensive review was led, and the department issued new guidelines protecting all Americans and protecting against the weaponization that happened under the Biden administration.
Time of the gentleman has expired. Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from New York is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Bondi, I went over to the department yesterday for a couple of hours to review some of the unredacted materials. And I am looking forward to your detailed explanation for why you have withheld almost half of the documents, which is required by the bill. Now, obviously, there are 3 million documents, so I didn't get through much. But one thing I didn't see was the client list that you said you had on your desk a year ago. I did, however, find a couple of important documents. An 86-page prosecution memo from the Southern District of New York and a draft indictment from Florida against Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirators. For reasons that I cannot understand nor are permitted by the bill, they were still redacted, even for members of Congress. So, Ms. Bondi, will you commit right here to immediately providing those two documents in unredacted form to members of Congress? Not a complicated question.
Well, I guess it is for you because you have a law degree and those are privileged.
Okay, they're not privileged, but we will discuss that later. I also found an email that I have right here from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell that was unredacted, and it included notes of statements that Donald Trump made about his prior relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Now, there is no reason for this to be hidden from the American people. There is no privilege, there is no attorney-client privilege, and I see you're checking with your staff, and I can assure you, staff, this is not under attorney-client privilege because it was sent from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell. Will you commit to publicly providing the unredacted version of this so that the American people can understand the extent of Donald Trump's lies about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
You're about as good of a lawyer today as you were when you tried to impeach President Trump in 2016. Have you apologized for that in 2019?
So will you unredact this? Will you
were
unredact
lead
this?
counsel on that. Privileged.
I'm asking you, will you unredact this?
Privileged.
Privileged, of course. I look forward to discussing this more. Now, these are obviously improper redactions.
And let me stop for a minute.
I'm talking.
If they're not privileged,
quiet.
Don't yell at me. If they're not
Mr. Chairman, would you stop the clock? This is on your time. It's not on Mr.
If they're
Even
not
though
privileged,
you used your
if we review
improper
them and they're not-
redactions
you'll like my answer.
to
If we
continue
review
to
them and they're not
protect
privileged,
Time
belongs to the
we will
member.
be happy to release them.
We'll
after
stop the
review.
clock. We'll stop the clock. Time belongs to the member. Go ahead.
Even though you used improper redactions to protect Donald Trump and other predators associated with Jeffrey Epstein, you did the exact opposite thing with the survivors and victims of this scheme. So their identification information was really the only thing required to be redacted, and it was not. And it's clear this was not a mistake. This was not by accident. This was not because you only had 30 days when you really used 75, and that doesn't even include all the hours last March that you were redacting it. But I'll tell you why it's clear it wasn't a mistake. There is an email entitled Epstein Victim List. There are 32 names. One is redacted, 31 are not. So someone looked at it and decided to redact something. And I will tell you that that is clearly intentional to intimidate these survivors and victims. Now, in an interview last week...
How will you tell me that's intentional?
In an interview last week, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche...
You can't go off script.
...said that any victim that wants to speak with the department has done so, hopefully. Well, thanks to the incredibly brave people sitting here behind you, we can actually ask them if that's true. Now, would the survivors and victims who are here please stand up one more time? Just by show of hands, how many of you or your loved ones actually have met with the Department of Justice and provided testimony and evidence? None. And of those of you who have not met, which is everyone, how many of you have reached out either individually or through a lawyer or representative to offer to provide testimony and evidence? All of them. And of those of you, all of you, who have reached out, how many of you were denied or ignored by the Department of Justice? All of them. And despite the shameful and despicable efforts by Ms. Bondi and her department to intimidate you, how many of you are still willing to speak to the Department of Justice? All of them. Well, Ms. Bondi, it looks like you have some more witnesses to talk to.
Gentlemen, time has expired.
And I yield back.
We will go to the good gentleman from North Carolina.
Very strange claim of privilege there by the Attorney General about an email between Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, as she is doing what she frequently does for each Democratic member of Congress, which is highlighting a criminal or an alleged criminal, I think. Let's see. Actually, I don't know what she's saying, but I will tell you that she has what Jared Moskowitz, Democrat of Florida, referred to as her burn book, where she's kind of doling out insults about individual members' districts. And things that aren't really pertinent to what they're asking about, but she is clearly very irritated by the questions, as she has what many have observed to be this appearance that is very much for an audience of one, as that would be President Trump, of course. We are going to get in a quick break. We'll monitor her reaction. We'll monitor the questions. We'll be right back.
This is something no one would have expected even a few months ago.
There's new drama here on Capitol Hill tonight.
You know, I think a lot of women right now ask that question.
New Sensodyne Clinical Repair is absolutely amazing. When your teeth are sensitive, they need special care. New Sensodyne Clinical Repair creates a protective shield over those exposed areas that can help repair sensitive areas of teeth after 60 seconds. I recommend Sensodyne Clinical Repair.
The itch and rash of moderate to severe eczema disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it's still not under control. Now I have Rinvoq, a once-daily pill that reduces the itch and helps clear the rash of eczema fast. Some felt significant itch relief as early as 2 days, and some achieved dramatic skin clearance as early as 2 weeks. Many saw clear or almost clear skin.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events: infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Disrupt the itch and rash of eczema. See a head-to-head study of Rinvoq versus another treatment at rinvoq.com/see the data. Talk to your dermatologist if you're not doing well on your current pill or injection to see if Rinvoq is right for you.
Need hair growth? Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator promotes thicker, fuller, healthier hair in just 3 weeks. Hair Growth Accelerator is drug-free and contains a clinically studied key ingredient that quickly accelerates hair growth. Find Force Factor Hair Growth Accelerator at Walmart today.
Hello. Do you want to play with me?
Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
Yeah.
This journey with childhood cancer comes at you in waves. Every day we wake up knowing that our 2-year-old has cancer. It's tough to get through.
The tumor is about the size of a baseball. I believe in the power of hope. And from the very first visit here at St. Jude, it was about hope and love. Because you go in expecting the worst.
You can join the battle to save lives by supporting St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Please call, go online, or scan the QR code right now and give $19 a month to make a difference.
Just by walking inside the doors of St. Jude, I instantly felt hope for my son.
With a gift right now, you can help save lives. Please become a St. Jude Partner in Hope today. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude for treatment, travel, housing, or food, so they can focus on helping their child live.
For these children to go through what they're going through during this time, and for the supporters to be right there, that means the world. Thank you. It's not enough thank yous.
Join with your credit or debit card for only $19 a month, and we'll send you this St. Jude t-shirt you can proudly wear to show your support.
As a mom, you just want to protect them and be there to watch her grow up, because we don't really know what the future holds. And I think that no family should have to be worried about that.
You can make a difference. Become a Partner in Hope today. Please donate now.